Hey, you guys, it's Negada Indicted TV here. We're almost at 100K. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also remember I go live on Wednesdays evenings. I drop an episode every Sunday, 11 o'clock. Make sure you guys comment. If you guys have any suggestions, any questions, whatever it might be, drop a comment. Let's get into this episode.
If you or a loved one are battling addiction, this is your wake-up call. At Strive Forward Recovery, we help get you clean, get you moving, and keep you there. Don't wait. Call today and take back your life.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Indicted TV. I'm your host, Negada. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. Before we start, you already know I gotta give a shout out to my sponsors, Royalty Honey, keep it hard, guys, and also for the best jewelry.
Sounds funny.
I mean, it's the truth. We gotta keep it hard, guys.
You're crazy. Hey, I ain't peeped up on that either, so you're gonna have to put me on game respectfully, though.
No,
you know?
don't worry.
Yeah.
My husband got you.
Hey,
he
straight
got
up,
you.
like I'm trying to see like damn, because everybody pushing that shit right now. I'm like, what is that shit? Like,
Don't worry.
right.
He got you. He got you with some packs.
Hey, okay.
Also for the best jewelry for his glory. And if you are that person that wants recovery or you know somebody, make sure you guys hit up Strive Forward Recovery. And on today's episode, we have Devour.
Hey, what's the deal?
Yes,
What's poppin'?
finally.
Hey, we here.
Thank you for coming.
I thank you guys for real.
So tell us where you're from. Obviously, I don't mean the gang.
Yeah.
Where you grew up, your mom, dad. How was it for you growing up?
Man, that shit was wild. Yeah, I'm from everywhere, honestly. Like, I was just one of those situations, you know, that was just bouncing around everywhere, you know. Like, I was born in Montebello. You know, I come from the east side of LA and shit, you know, and from there, you know, we got kicked out from where we were at, you know, and landed in Cudahy. It was Cudahy for a little bit, and then my life began in the valley and shit.
Okay, so you moved to the valley when you were how old?
I was low-key a baby. Yeah,
Okay.
I was probably like one, two type. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So you're basically from the valley. That's
Yeah.
where you're from.
Oh, hell yeah. That's where I was raised.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Oh, hell yeah. We deep as
Oh really?
yeah. I got 9 older brothers and 5 sisters.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wait, you have 9 brothers and 5 sisters?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we deep. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That's
straight
a
up.
lot. Are your parents born in Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh,
My
pues,
jefe, he was, I believe he was born in Michoacan, but grew up in Nayarit.
Oh, I'm from Nayarit.
Yeah? Hey, say that. That's tight. And then my jefita, she's from La Barca, Jalisco and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, a lot of brothers and sisters.
Yeah, we deep. Yeah.
Wow. And your parents are still together, like.
Hell nah.
Oh, okay.
Hell nah.
That was too much kids to deal with.
Hell nah. They hate each other. I mean, they chop it up from time to time, but they don't f each other like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
My dad, he up in Mexico and shit, and then my jefita, she thugging with me. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So so basically, she raised you guys by herself.
Not really. My dad was a part. My dad,
Okay.
yeah. My dad, he took off maybe like when I was like 11, maybe.
Oh, okay. Ya estaba un
Yeah.
poquito más grande.
Or 12. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a lot of people in the house, a lot of kids. You're the youngest or something, middle?
I'm the baby boy. Yeah, I'm the youngest boy, and I got 2 younger sisters.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
you're everything.
Yeah, hey. Shit, the
El
heck,
niño de la
everything.
casa.
Hey, man. That's crazy, but nah, yeah, I'm the baby boy and shit.
Okay, so you guys grew up in the valley. You went to elementary,
Yeah.
all of that, junior high. At what age did you see yourself kind of like changing? You know what I'm saying? Becoming to the man you are, like, you know, the young man.
Man, you know, I feel like that was just like, I don't know, like, it was always regular, you know, like that. I don't feel like I ever really changed. I feel like I maybe got blurred and my family knew the I was honest. But I mean, I come from that though, you know, like I said, I'm deep as like all my other brothers, they turned up and shit. So
Okay,
like, it's regular, you know?
Okay,
Yeah.
so basically you just looked up to your brothers.
On me, hell yeah. Those are like my idols. Like all my brothers, hey, Lord knows how much I glorify and look up to my brothers, you know? Like, no disrespect to my sisters, and shit, but on some real shit, my brothers mean the world to me, you know?
Of course.
Yeah, like right now I'm still learning like how to like, not like that, because that's fucked up, But like,
No, you're
how to
being
put
real.
my- how
Look,
to-
you're being realistic.
Yeah, like how to put my kids first, you know? Like, cause I had my first son when I was busted and I came home and doubled up because I couldn't let my son grow up dolo, you know? So I had my second son and shit.
I know. I saw the
Hey.
family picture.
Hey, hell yeah, you know? So it's being a dad is new to me, you know? But my brothers, they always been there and shit. And like, I had a dad, and we could get into that too. Like, my dad, like, he was my dad, but I didn't have the confirmation that he was my dad and shit, you know? Like, I always thought somebody else was my dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so I never really had a dad in my life. Like,
Besides your brothers.
yeah, and like the dude that I thought was my dad, like it took me at a very young age to McDonald's and shit and told me he wasn't my dad. So like from then, that's when the distance happened, and like me and him started beefing, like to the point where like shout out my brother and shit, you know, like when that fool be pulling back up to the house, shit, he'll call the house and buy shit for everybody, but he wouldn't buy shit for me. So my brother would double up on burgers and shit, like, and we would split them, you know.
Yes,
yeah,
because it definitely made you feel some way.
yeah, so like who was doing shit like that, you know, my brothers and shit, you know. So
yes.
that's why like my brothers, like this is up here to me, you know.
Of
Yeah,
course.
straight up. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Love that. And junior high, like, did you ever, like, were you fighting? Like,
Oh, man.
always.
I can't even close my hand. Look at my shit.
Calm down, fucking fighter.
Oh, kung fu fighter. Nah, like, I mean, it come with it, you know, like,
Okay.
when you turned up and shit, and like, there's just situations you gotta address, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
And
like,
you've always been turned up since little.
I mean,
It's
like,
who you are.
yeah, like, I don't really like glorifying and like giving myself credit and shit, you know, like, I try to be like, you know, but I mean, yeah, like I said, it come with it, you know, so like, especially having brothers and shit up getting on me, it's just, I learned at a young age, you know, like even like when we moved to the valley and shit, it was like a pro on that block. It was it was pro raza and shit, but the building we landed in, it was all blacks. So like me and my brother were the youngest Hispanics there. So I mean, that's prime time when all that racist shit was happening, you know? So we was chunking them with everybody. Like, I mean, then it gradually changed because we lived there for a long ass time, and like they became family, you know, when drive-bys that happened, they be like, baby, get in the house type shit, you know? So yeah, but like, nah, you know, it always came with it, you know, like fighting and all that shit, like, kids don't be fighting out there, you know, that shit.
It's definitely not worth it, guys.
Yeah, like, that shit
and we
just-
always say that we don't glorify anything. Obviously, this is your life and your experience, inside and out. You know.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to juvenile hall as a
Hell
kid?
yeah. I went well, not like that, not too much times. I was in Summer, and then from Summer they sent me to Eastlake. I was in Eastlake, boys' shoe, both of them and shit. Like,
Okay, so tell me what you got arrested for the
Man.
first time, and what you got arrested, and tell me about the little situation, how it went down.
ass fool told on me, and that's how I got blurred. Yeah.
Okay.
So they was looking for 3 people. And
Blurb means what?
Like that's how you got caught. Like James,
Okay,
got
I mean,
caught
just
up.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
old, so
Nah, you good. That's why you got me. You know, I'm keep y'all tapped in and shit. You know, straight up.
I'm like,
But-
okay.
Yeah, cause you know how when the hood I get behind you, like,
Oh, blurb.
yeah. So like, that's what it mean and shit. But some fool like he got caught up for some shit, and he was running around with some of the people I was running around with, and they was looking for 3 other people. I had nothing to do with what he got blurred for, but he flipped, and I don't know how he had to drop on me, but you know, like I'm the one that got ran down.
And how old were you?
I was 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were a big teenager already.
Rated my shit vicious. Yeah, I just thank God my hip I wasn't there low key.
Oh, I see.
Cause they did my brother dirty low key. Yeah, like
'Cause
they had like 3 blowers behind his head.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they went in crazy. Like it was no lie, I'm not even exaggerating. It was probably like 15 sheriffs and like 7 LAPDs.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was
For little you.
Yeah. That shit was wild.
Like if you were like this major crazy guy.
I remember the day, I'm never gonna forget that shit, because I used to go to a school that was far from where I was currently living and shit. Well, living at the time, I mean, and I used to have to take 2 buses. So I had to get up early and shit. And I remember waking up and I'm just looking, it was raining and shit, and I'm looking up. Fucking, I'm about to get up. And then I just hear, "This is a raid, apartment 5.
Oh, wow.
And in my head, I'm like, damn, am I coming up with some music right now? What's going on, you know? Like, and then I'm like, oh shit, because my window was like the lookout window. Like, I used to keep that was my shit right there, you know? And I look out the window and they're all like huddled like that in front of my door. And as soon as, I guess I made a noise, oh shit, Spence out. As soon as, I guess like when I looked over, I made a little noise and they all just looked up and it was all beams on me. I'm like, oh shit. So I just got low, they kicked my door in. My brother was asleep, he was staying with us at the time and he was living downstairs and shit. And I just started trying to hide as much shit I was able to hide, but my shit was burnt out. Like, all the homies had hit up in my room. Like my carpet in my room was all written on
Oh
and
my
shit.
God.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
have kicked your butt if you were
Oh,
my
yeah,
son.
that
Your
was-
mom whooped you all the time, huh? I
Yeah,
bet.
on me. Like, well, you know, when you get a little older, that shit don't hurt no more. I mean, hey, ma, todavía me duele, you know, like, hey, hey, but
Uno más.
yeah, like, yeah, so like, fucking, they ran in. That shit was funny. Like, when they snatched me from my room, like, they handed me from Hura to Hura, like, all the way downstairs, all the way to the front of the pad. Like, that's how deep the motherfuckers were.
They didn't want to let you go.
Hey, that shit was crazy though. Like they did that shit pretty disrespectful though. Like they broke all the dishes. Like,
Oh, that.
what would I be hiding in the dishes and shit? You know, like when I see my mom see the house, like that shit me up. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, man, up, you know, like because they called. I mean, the whole block was like, fuck, I'm right there cuffed. My brother's cuffed and shit, and like they had called my mom. She came back, and like she was like, what's going on? They took me and whatever. I got busted, and like I got out the same day. So I'm a minor, and like. When I seen her just looking at everything, that shit broke me. I was like,
Yeah.
they my pad up, like on some asshole shit. I'm
Yeah. Like
know,
so
like-
unfair.
yeah, so like that kind of just made me like, not at the pad no more, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I can't do this shit at the crib. Like
Yeah, because it puts everybody else in danger.
yeah. I mean, you know, my mom was a little older and shit, you know, so like she shouldn't be going through some shit like that at that age, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I mean, like you said, little old me, like I'm not giving a thinking about shit at that time like that, you know? Like until I
We're
fucking,
super selfish when we're young.
yeah, like until I go through this shit, but nah, that's pretty much what happened. This shit, like they found shit right there, like they found like all types of shit, you know. Like I kind of took the rap for like like not say like that, you know, because he would have
Done it for you.
yeah, you know, but he was in a little situation too. And shit. I'm a minor, so like the fucked up by putting us in the same car for a little bit, and they seen us talking. And he's like, it's funny because he's like, "What'd you do, Dick?" And at the same time, he's standing. I'm on this side of the car, and he's right here. And then you see the hood waving some shit behind him, like, "Fool, we got you." I'm like, "Oh man," like,
Dang.
but
Yeah.
he's like, "I thought that shit was for me." I was like, "Nah, it's good. Like all that, like everything is whatever.
Yeah.
It's me, you know." And he was like, "I love you for," and then they snatched that fool out or whatever, and they let him go, and they just took me and shit.
So they took you. Where did it take you? Silmar?
And hell no, they took me all the way to Lost Hills for some reason.
Where the heck is Lost Hills?
It's like going towards Thousand Oaks and shit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
And what'd you do after that?
I was just like waiting, like for like I thought I was gonna go to Silmar and shit, but I ended up getting released from there low key.
Oh, and the
came
case
and
was over?
Hell no.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I ended up getting locked up for a little later, but
And how much time did you get?
I don't, for that low key by law came. Well, the public defender shit came through. I only did like a little over a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you still experienced the juvenile hall stuff.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So tell me about you walking into. You said you went to Silmar. From Silmar, you went to East Lake, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about Silmar. When you just walked in, you know, you're young.
Well, as soon as I touched down, I got in a fight in the infirmary. Yeah, so like I'm sitting right there, and like it's my first month, so I'm just peeping games, and like that shit had me hot too because when I had to turn myself in, that sheriff, like that fool, like I tried to get up to give my mom a hug, and like my mom, like I said, she's already a little older, and she got, you know, the shit that she deals with and shit, you know, and when I try to go up and hug her, it's crazy because my brother's right there too. Like that fool was like, "Nah, watch out, you ain't hugging nobody." And like my mom started crying and shit. I'm like, "Man, why you got to do all that, though?" You know.
Yeah.
And then I was already mad, so like through the whole little process, I was just on top of me doing that. I had to go in there turned up, like I was already hot, you know. So I was sitting in the infirmary or whatever, and some fool passed by, you know. We was looking at each other and shit, and I smacked my leg. So I got up and I cracked that fool. Boom!
Oh,
we started
see?
we started going at it right there. They grabbed me, and that's how I ended up in the shoe. And then from the show or in the boys' shoe, like, it was kind of cool right there, cause like, but I guess I'll explain that later. Like, I was right there, and as soon as they pop me out, I get into it with somebody else. I felt bad for that fool, you know, cause like I ended up finding out why he was burnt out on some other shit, but I kicked that fool's glasses on accident, and that fool
no.
felt played, so he ran up on me, and I just fired on him, boom, and we just started getting to it right there, and I just ended up staying in the shoe, and yeah.
And then you got transferred.
Now, well, it's a trip because this goes to show you how fucked up like the people we're around, meaning like these doctors and shit are. Like when I was in Silmar, they sent me to properly do their infirmary. I wasn't able to like proceed with it since all that happened. Like they had seen some shit in my eyes, so I guess they didn't have a specialist at Silmar, so they sent me to East Lake, and I was going to in the hospital right there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I got some up eyes pretty much, but
Oh no!
yeah,
You should be
like-
wearing glasses.
I got glasses,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But I mean, it's good. I try not to wear them because I don't want to depend on. I don't want to start depending on them and shit.
Yeah, but your side is more important.
Yeah, it is low key.
You're also like this. No.
No, I can see. You know, it's
Okay.
just there's other shit like that. My eyes and shit.
Got
It's
it.
not really like
The light.
Yeah, like
Got
yeah.
it.
Other.
And when
Yeah.
you went to Eastlake, how was that? Because it's completely different than
Low key, it was cool. Hey, the food was
horrible.
yeah. He's like low key, but I mean, it was cool. It was you're locked up, you know.
Yeah, because you said you did 30 days.
Yeah.
And when you got out, what happened to you?
Shit, I was on probation, like trying to figure that out. Want to go link with the first probation officer. She was, and you know, just figuring that shit out. You know, do the whole probation shit, like yeah, like regular.
Regular. It was kind of more intense though, because when you're a kid, I feel like being on probation is harder than when you're an older person.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, now, like, honestly,
Not
like,
for you, at least.
being on parole was harder than my term, honestly. Like,
Really?
Straight up, like that was getting kind of wicked for me. I was like,
Really?
yeah, that's kind of like one of the reasons why I had to like, you know, like
Push it back.
yeah, I was like, man, they playing some that's like, you know, like ball game with me. So I was like, give it some time, you know, like,
Yeah.
because once I shake this, they can't hold nothing over my head no more, you know. So
And your freedom is definitely way more important than anything else.
on
you
me,
know?
hell yeah. Especially
Yeah.
now I got like kids and shit, you know, like on top of that, everything else that's going on, you know, like I gotta get to this. You know,
Yeah.
like I can't.
When
be
you were
wasting
16
time.
and you went to jail, were you already rapping?
Low key, I've always made music. I just never became publicly with it. Like I
Okay.
always wanted to like get better at it. Like as a matter of fact, my brother's with me. That fool put me in the studio the first time in my life in my whole life. I
And
was
you were
12 years
how-
old.
oh, you were
Yeah.
12.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was 12. Yeah. So we used to always try to get busy with that shit, but I mean we broke. You know, like I had to get a little older to start making some money. You know,
Yeah.
get on
Yeah.
my little hustle shit. And once I was able to buy, since everybody was talking about the f***ing Pro Tools and shit, I hit Sam Ash and got Pro Tools when it was coming with the whole MIDI box and all that shit. And it came with a free microphone, so I was like, "Man, we on,
want,
like, yeah,
yeah.
come on, like, yeah." And yeah, ever since then, I just started learning how to do that shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
So even when obviously you were rapping since you were 12 and now you're like 16 going on 17 and you're on probation and you get out, you're going to school though? Or no?
Yeah, I'm still in school.
Because you're in high school now.
Yeah, I keep fucking up this mic, huh?
No, you're good.
Hey, my
Don't
bad,
worry.
one.
You're good. It'll catch your voice.
Nah, yeah, I'm still going to school. I mean, I was fucking up, but yeah,
Yeah.
I was still in school and shit. Like I went to like 2 different middle schools and like 5 high schools. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I definitely understand that.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Obviously, it was all because of us, right?
Hey, not all the time though. I mean, acquaintances, I guess. Well, not acquaintances, but like,
Then there you go, blaming other people, fool.
nah, hell nah. You know, we don't do that. But like, hey, sometimes some fools be coming on some bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
So like I said, it just comes with it. Like you can't stay quiet, you know.
No,
so
for
like,
sure.
it's not always us. I mean, we could have stood quiet, you know, but is that really who we are? Like, hell no, I ain't gonna let nobody try to get at me like that, you know. Fuck that. Yeah, but it's not always our fault. Motherfuckers be tripping sometimes.
No,
you
I
gotta
get
regulate
it. No,
them, you know?
for sure.
Straight up.
No, I get it, and even till now, even now, it's just like, bro, come down. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that serious. Don't get us out of character.
Yeah,
You
straight
know?
up.
Don't get us out of character.
Especially now, you know, like we got shit like this and shit, you know, like this is dope. You know, when I see stuff like this, I don't want to say shit because I don't want you like no one to take it out of context and shit. You know, it's just
No, it's the
probably-
way you speak.
Yeah, you know, like I straight from my heart, I really get motivated when I see like this, you know, because like everything I stripped from me. So like being back out here and seeing like people in play, like getting to it, I'm like, man, it's go time. Like I gotta just
Yes.
get back on my shit.
And
you
but
know?
you
like,
did. You came home, and you know you're back on your.
Yeah.
And you're going to continue to grow even more and more and more and more and more. And now it's more beautiful because now you have your own family.
Yeah.
You know? But let's get back to you being, so you're 17, you're out.
Yeah.
So what happens? You get out, you're on probation, you're in high school still, 5 different high schools.
Yeah.
What happens to Devour?
Well, the same. I'm just trooping, you know, like still being an idiot, you know.
But now
like,
you're 17, about to be 18.
yeah. So I'm just wilding, you know, still trying to.
Survive.
Yeah, you know, just still trying to figure it out, you know, like I didn't have too much going at the time. Like, well, around that time, like, let me see, or like around that time, like, still young, you know, like, that shit was just crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, like, I don't know, it was just day to day, you know, like you wake up, like I didn't have a job, you know, like I would go to school, but I was never in school, you know, so like I'm just being a idiot, you you know, like just doing dumbass shit still, like. But nah, yeah, like regular shit.
But you never went back to jail at 18.
Nah, I didn't get busted since until now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, you just kind of focus on your music.
Nah,
No, not even.
Nah.
Just running around, being with girls, partying.
Wildin'.
Yeah.
My mom used to tell me like, fool, like this shit ain't no hotel right here. Fool, like what's up with you?
Hijo de la
Like,
chingada.
you know, like just
Yeah.
being a fool, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah, that shit was crazy. I put my mom through some shit.
You smiled.
but
You thought about it, huh, cabrón?
She's testing though, you know, like I'm not the first, you know. My mom
Well, yeah,
been
she
through
had a
some
lot of
shit.
boys.
Hell yeah.
It was her house is not a hotel.
Hey, but yeah, you know, just still trying to figure it out. Young, dumb, you know, doing
Just
dumb
partying,
shit.
doing the most.
Yeah.
At what age did you? What happened? Like, what age did you go to prison, or how did that go?
That's recently in 20. I caught a case in 2019, and you know, I just had to figure that shit out from this point on. You know, or from that point on, like, I mean, like that shit.
What did you get charged with? Like, tell us.
I caught a hot one. You know, some individuals thought it was all right to play with me, and I'm not want to play with. You know, like I don't walk around thinking I'm like, oh, like nah. You know, like everybody likes to highlight one characteristic of them, you know? Me, I'm trying to highlight every characteristic. I want everybody to know everything about me, you know? Because I don't have shit about myself, like, but just don't, like, I don't know, some that shit up, you know, until they give.
And that's what happened. You basically got busted for murder.
Yeah.
Okay. We just got to say it, you know, it just
Yeah.
gives it a little more an intense
Yeah, that shit, but
it's realistic. I'm saying like that's what's on the papers. Like that's what you got charged with, and
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like
Nah, yeah.
there's no sugarcoating, nothing. Like
Hell no.
it is what it is. You got charged. You got busted for murder.
Yeah.
How did they pick you up? Tell us the situation, how it went down.
Like when they got me and shit, or like this, like the shit that happened and
Both,
shit, like
both. You know, from beginning from how it started to you getting picked up.
Well, I mean, it was just like some people, you know, like he was my homie, you know, like
Oh,
used to
okay.
be you know, slept on my couch, you know. That
Somebody
was
you
my
were
little
there.
doggy, you know, like, and hey, when dogs turn on you, you know,
As bad as it might sound, you guys.
yeah, that
but
shit sounds vicious, you know, like, but like it's crazy because right now my state of mind, I'm like I want to not give a just turn up and talk about that shit, but then también like I don't want to like navigate the next generation, all these youngsters. I feel like everybody's blind right now, you know, like people think like when you're real, you're fake now, you know, and that's fucking weird to me, you know, like, but you know, yeah, I got caught for a high one, you know, some dude thought it was all right to play with me, you know, and I ain't going out like
yeah,
that.
like what you said a little while ago, especially when somebody like you're there for and he's your friend and you let him sleep in your house and you know one thing leads to another and just like oh shit. By then what can you do? It's too late. And it's not okay, guys. We're not saying it's okay. Like, you know, it's not saying like, oh, take the dogs out. No.
Yeah.
You know,
hey,
like,
nah, but when
like
they
who
turn
are
on
we?
you, what you gonna do? You know,
yeah, like when it's either you or me.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not okay, guys. That's not what we're saying, you know, but that's what happened. So did you get picked up right then and then?
Nah, I dipped. I ran.
You
went
ran?
on the run. Yeah, I was on the run for like 3 weeks. And then they caught me and shit.
Tell me about those 3 weeks, how intense it was for you.
I'm already skinny, but I was skinny, you know, like, I mean, I don't
Like
fuck
you're
around
on
with
meth.
shit, you know, yeah, like, I was just like, fuck, like, dick, I got caught, I
You're
just smoked
stressed.
this fool on fucking camera type shit, like, it's a wrap, like, I'm done, you know, like, but, like, the way everything unfolded and shit, I knew, like, I always kept my faith, you know, because, like I said, hey, I'm not gonna blame myself for a situation that someone brought upon themselves, you know. So that's why earlier when you said that, I was like, skirt, hold on, let me like, you know, throw my little 2 cents in that little saying right there, cause hey, you know, they brought it upon themselves, you know, like, but
Like, who are we? Like, you know, we're not no one to judge. Like, only God could, and maybe, and that's why you're here.
yeah,
You know, because, like, yeah, like, usually it's like you get life for a life, right?
yeah,
But God knows your heart. Like,
yeah.
you know, He does forgive. The people might not, but it's not even about the people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's about the higher up.
on me, hell
You know,
yeah,
and obviously you're out here.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. I'm sorry, but it is what it is.
Yeah, nah,
you
it
know?
is.
You have so much more. You have so much more life.
You know what's fucked up is that talking about a heart, you know, like I could have been so heartless about the situation, like very heartless. Like it's still to this day it gets me fucking pissed because people got the narrative, you know. But like I said, like I don't. When you really do something, you know, you don't. No estás muy acá, you know, like promoting that shit. You in the cut with it, you know. Like I don't like to talk about certain shit on camera. Like we're on record, so for the record, I'm, you know, like I'm that type of guy, you know, like if we're really gonna talk about some gangster shit, let's do it when the cameras is off, you know. Like I like, you know, I gotta. Like we were saying earlier, you know, we got a lot to live for now, you know, so we can't keep slipping with shit like this, you know. Like, unfortunately, that's the wave now to bleed somebody for some content. But when it's your real life, how you gonna be a fool and do that, you know? Like, I ain't no fool. I'm a foolie, but I ain't no fool, you know. Like, I
understand what you're saying completely, you know, but obviously this is the channel that this is what we speak about, you know. And
now we could get into details, you know. I was just trying to like, it's my first like.
It's okay, you know, whatever you feel comfortable. But obviously, like you said, people do have the wrong idea and have put their own 2 cents when in reality they don't know what happened or how it. We don't care about how it went down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's like too much sometimes.
Nah, hell no,
you know?
I do because that's why I'm still here. You know, like point blank. On top of what they were doing already, they just thought it was all right. Like what saved my life is like evidence. You know, like they snatched my chain off my neck. You know, like
on purpose type shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like so like. I like, you know, I don't even want to say it like that, but up at like, it's damn near like I was a victim until this fool got victimized, you know, straight up. Like,
and that's how it goes.
Yeah, straight
and
up.
That's how it goes, you know. That's exactly how it goes. And people don't tend to understand that.
Fuck that victim word though, you know, I mean.
Bro, it's reality. We're not in prison and it doesn't matter. This is reality and it's a fact. Like,
homies always handling me too. I was trooping with the homies and shit, you know?
You know what I mean?
Like, and shit, you know? Like,
but I'm saying, like, you know, you said the victim word. Hey, it's reality, bro.
Yeah.
It's not that, oh, soy un víctima. Like, no.
Tampoco
así, no, tampoco se pasen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the truth.
Yeah.
If you want to put it in reality terms in the court of fucking law.
Hey, yeah, but sometimes we got to highlight it, hey, because it's slow as straight up. So sometimes they need an explanation, you know, like straight up.
Exactly. And, you know, it's not that you care what other people say, but hey, this is happened, this is reality, this is your life, not their lives. And I mean to the people that, you know, talk. You know, like up. You don't know, like you weren't there for, and this is my life and I fought for it and it is what it is.
On me, straight
you
up.
know?
Yeah. But now, you know, like, well, yeah, that's back to like with the whole being on the runs, like that shit was up. Like, I don't think I'd be able to live forever like that. Like, I mean, we already looking behind our shoulder and shit, you know, like when we slide in the field, like when you come from there, I mean, you know, like you OG with it, you did your time and shit, you know, like, hey, salute to that, you know, you kept it solid and shit, you know, like nowadays it's regular to not keep it solid, you know, so.
But you know what? Women are more solid than men, respectfully.
I've been on that.
Yeah.
I've been on my lady's crazy. Not like that. She's a girl.
She held it down. And we're crazy. We're crazy. Like, I am a normal woman. Like, I am a mom. I'm a wife. Like, I don't do anything that's not like a señora. Like, I'm a woman. I'm a lady. I really am. But don't play with me.
Yeah, straight up.
Because everybody, you know, and I don't care. And I'll deal with the consequences after.
Yeah, straight up.
You know?
Yeah. But I mean, you know, like on some real shit, the only shit that I could say that I was like felt bad about was when I was in that courtroom and I heard his mama cry, you know. But at the end of the day, it can't be my mama. My mama, I seen my mama cry already.
Yeah.
I just lost another one of my brothers, just peace.
I'm
you know,
sorry.
like, so my mama already lost 3, you know. At the time, it was only 2. I can't be the third, you know, like I can't.
Ay, ni lo mande Dios.
You know, like, but hey, you know, like, it is what it is, you know?
But at least you had that. I'm not going to say remorse or whatever because I don't know what you really felt, but you felt bad.
Well, dig, I ain't a piece of shit, you know? Like, I got a heart. Yeah, nah, I know. Hey, well, that's why I'm here, you know?
Yes,
like, I'm trying to get to know everybody and shit, you know? Like, I know I'll be ducked off. I don't really a lot of people.
It's okay, though.
Yeah, I didn't start doing this music shit to gain homies and shit, you know? Like, I got enough people to worry about already,
That's
you know?
right.
Like,
that's right.
Like, it's crazy because I feel like a lot of people have like a question mark about me just because I've never really tapped in with anybody, you know? Like, but to begin with, I ain't even on my phone like that, you know? Like, I was already so horrible with being on my phone that when I got busted, having like them years without a phone, coming back out now, I like that shit. Like, every time I pick up my phone, that shit's just drama, you know? Like, or I just see shit that I don't like. I'm like, man, like.
Yeah.
But the only way to just get past that is staying busy and shit,
Yeah.
you know, don't touch that shit, straight up.
Yeah, but you obviously you are a rapper, so you do need to be on social media.
Yeah.
But obviously, you're probably not the one that runs your stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I was up until now, you know. Now I'm starting to like trust the team. I got a manager now, you know, like I got, you know, like everything is finally into place, like, in place for me, you know, like
It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. I've been out for a long time, and I barely feel, and I said this a lot of times, I barely feel I'm where I'm supposed to be. It's not easy. It's not easy, you know, like we think like we're going to come home and we have plans and this, but it doesn't matter what we plan. It's his plans.
How long have you been out? If you mind me
Since
asking?
2012.
Do you ever get those random ass moments where you feel like you smell like the county detergent? Like
Yeah.
that shit is weird on. Like,
Those are things that I don't think it ever goes away.
That shit
Like
ain't
certain
never
things,
gonna
you know,
go
like
away, straight
you know the
up.
blanket, the way that hard
Yeah,
one
all that
smells,
shit, yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like I don't even like to use those. I don't like those blankets. Like, don't give me that. He likes that, like that rough feeling. Like, bro, nah, take that shit out of here. You know, just leave that shit somewhere else. But I don't like that. I don't like
Yeah.
that. But back to you getting picked up. So you're on the
Yeah.
run for 3 weeks. Shit's devastating. Like you're not okay. Like you're stressed out. What
I don't even
happens?
think stress was probably like, you know, like fuck that shit. I don't wish that shit upon anyone, you know, like that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, keep it G. Like I was gonna go turn myself in, but my lawyer was like, there's no, it's not gonna benefit you. You know, you already left the scene. So like, cause I was on the run, but I wasn't hiding though. Like, I mean, I did what I did, you know, but I did it for a reason. I feel like God knows my heart, and I feel like it's obvious what the fuck happened. And I'm like, I'm not a lelo either, you know, like it's daytime, just cameras everywhere. So hopefully they fucking got the whole shit, not just fractions of it. And sure enough, like fighting that shit, I had 4 DAs on my case. Yeah, like talking about there's certain videos missing that ended up justifying my side of the story, you know? My shit was 50 to life the whole way, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, and then they chopped it to 6 years, and I was like, fuck that, if you guys went from 50 to life to 6 years, my homies, you know, like,
Like, what's going on? Yeah.
like, no, I'm saying, like, I got peers, you know, that is on a way lower, like, situation, but, like, it's not that drastic of a drop, so I know I had action. I was like, but it took time and all that
Everything,
shit, you know,
yeah.
you gotta go through the ups and downs of that shit, and I'm like, but, hey, by the blessings of God, you know, like, shit started popping up. My chain popped up, you know, like, the whole DNA shit.
And this
It
was you
my
fighting your case in the county.
Nah, hell, I bailed out.
Oh.
Straight up.
But how did you get arrested?
That shit was crazy. I was up in, as a matter of fact, I was out here.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I'm like, oh, I gotta go back over there. Like, I got blurped right here on.
Exactly, yeah, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
But
Fuck him.
obviously, we're gonna blurp the streets because we can't have fools knowing what.
Yeah,
fuck
not
we're at,
straight
you know?
up. Hey, yeah. Not straight up. But it was right here. I was about to jump on the freeway and shit. And when I was smacked, like when I was coming down, I forgot what little street it was. And I don't know how the fuck I ended up on that little street, but I was wilding doing the most the night before and I ended up staying out here. So like when I was smashing down, I don't know what little street it was, but it's like damn, I don't remember. But I'm
Because this is
yeah.
and this is
Yeah, so I'm coming from the 60s, so like pretty much.
yeah, on this side.
Yeah, so I'm smashing that like past this one, I'm about to jump on the 10. But when I'm coming up, I just see hooras from like every time I stopped at the stop sign on the little street, there was cops on that side and cops on this side.
Oh, they were on you already.
And I was
huh?
like, so like I keep pushing, and sure enough, boom, I see him, and I'm like, damn. So as soon as I hit Monte Vista, I said, "Skirt," I just did, and then they got behind me, boom, they blurred me, they stopped me. I think it's like a little medical shit right before you jump on the freeway and shit.
Yes. And I know exactly because
Yeah,
that's where we go for the doctors.
Oh, fuck, cut that out. Hey, cut that out too. Cut that. Yeah. Hey, but I had to turn into that parking lot, and that's where they had me. Boom. Yeah, they're like, don't fucking move. You know.
So they knew it was you.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So they were on you.
Yeah, they were trying to get me. Yeah.
Oh shit. So then what happened? They
I
took
got
you.
busted. Yeah.
Where'd
I got
you
busted.
go? So you went to the LA County,
Yeah, I was
or?
in county. Yeah.
And that was your first time in the LA County.
First time.
Tell me about the process for
Hey.
you, because you're Devour by now,
Yeah, like that shit.
right?
Man, like that shit. It was like once you hit that county, boy, you gonna know what it is, you know. Especially like me, I got trapped in that bitch ass. I think it's a 3600s on Fish Roll because they were just like they 10 me and shit. And I'm like, man, fuck that. Like, yeah, I know I'm doing this music shit, but keep me with everybody.
Yeah,
like,
keep
I
me
ain't trying to
general
be by
pop.
myself. Like that's when them walls started talking to you, you know. But I got stuck right there. I was in C3, and then I started getting recognized by like the Porters and shit. I started getting blessed with like Pruno, so it made it a little.
This fool's like,
yeah.
all he cares about was a fucking Pruno.
Nah, I mean,
I'm just
I
kidding.
didn't, yeah, I don't even
I'm just
drink like
I'm
that.
just talking
yeah.
shit. I'm talking shit.
Nah, yeah, we coolin'. But little by little, I just started getting recognized when they would pop us out for the showers. My celly was from Pomona. Well, not my celly, my neighbor and shit, because it's single man cells right there. And I'm right next to the shower, and everybody sees my tattoos and shit. They're like, "Oh, it's dick right here!" Like, but in there, you don't know who's silent, who's not, you know. So I'm trying not to chop it up with anybody, you know.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what's up with you fools, you know.
Until
like,
you know.
Yeah, until like, yeah, you outside and you figure it out with you know. But that shit was crazy. Like, you just got to get back into animal mode, you know. Like, it's up, but I mean, I guess it just comes with it, you know. Like, and it takes some adapting to do, but. Hey, you gotta make it happen, you know? Like, what you gonna do? Just ball up and be on the floor and shit? Like, hell nah, I came too far to do that, you know?
Yes.
Like, yeah, but that shit was a trip. So I was right there and then ended up getting bailed out. And I just started fighting my shit on the street. Like, I didn't even think the bail shit was gonna happen because they were splitting up like crazy, you know? They hit so much different, like, bail companies and shit, and I just kept getting, like, denied.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, this is not gonna happen, you know? And then, like, when they finally let me out, I was high powered for like 12 hours and shit. And I had a phone in my cell. When they took me out of fish roll, I had to have a whole meeting with all the hooters. Like, I gotta sign a paper, like, cause, you know, like your status of the music shit, like you're a liability. You can't trust your homies. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to hear all that shit, you know? Like,
yeah.
But when they sent me to high power, I got situated and.
Did you have a celly in the high power?
Nah.
You don't have cellies either?
Nah.
Okay.
And I was chopping it up. I called home and shit, you know, and I called my lady and I was like, what's poppin'? And she's like, that shit, you know, like, it's not looking good, but we might have somebody, like, just, like, you know, hold up. Like, and then she started telling me how my family split up and shit. Like, some of them was, like, up there by, like Victorville and, like, Hesperia at one bill, and then the other one was, like, over here in Watts. Like, I mean, like I said, we deep, you know, so, like, my brothers and everybody just split up. Like, what's up?
Yes.
You know, like, and me thinking también too, you know, I'm like, I don't know what they got. I don't know how this shit gonna unfold. So like, I'm thinking it's like, fuck, like it might be over, you know, like
the worst.
Yeah, it's over, you know, like I can't sit here and talk to somebody that actually did it and beat it, you know, like, and I ain't trying to like make it seem like I'm flexing that shit because that's not, you know, that's not what I'm doing, you know. But when you have to talk to yourself about situations, that's when like that shit really like get hard.
Is that what
like,
you did? You talked to yourself?
Yeah, I just had to like. What am I gonna do, though? You know, like I gotta just prepare myself for the worst. Yeah, you know,
and you
like,
gotta stay strong.
Yeah, straight up. Like, what else can we do? You know, like,
sí, no nos queda de otra.
Don't get me wrong. I don't care what anyone say. You know, like I let them drop. You know, like certain moments and shit when I'm thinking about certain shit. And silent. You know, like I let
and
couple
it's
tears
okay.
drop. Yeah, like,
yes, like you're human.
You know, like, hey, I'm probably never gonna be able to leave this place. You know, I'm like, but yeah. So I get bailed out. I start fighting on the street, and then.
How long did you fight the case?
Almost 3 years.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. But at least you were out.
Yeah, and that's how I just trapped myself in the studio. I just started shooting a bunch of music videos. Like a couple years back, I had learned how to edit music videos. So for a while, I was doing it myself, and then my boys started doing it for me and shit. Well, a couple different people, but being on bail and I couldn't drop music, I just started doing all that shit again, you know, because I'm like, eventually it's gonna come Judgment Day and. Ain't no telling, because the whole time I'm taking it to the box, you know. I'm not 50 to life. Like,
yeah. If I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose, and it is what it is.
I'm going down swinging, you know, like any other situation, you know. I don't have the biggest hands, you know, but I'm gonna swing until I can't no more.
That's
you know,
right.
Like straight up, like, and that's what I did, you know. I just had to follow my heart, like, and just keep trooping, you know. Shit, I tied up my shoes and just kept that shit pushing, you know.
See, so 3 years after you go to sentencing, and what did the judge say?
Man, talking about
all that matters is that I was going home.
Nah, you know, like it was a trip too because it was like a last minute thing. Like they was like, hey, well, we'll drop 3 if you take it right now. I was like, because I wasn't gonna take the 6. I honestly was gonna go to the box instead of taking the 6.
Ay, bro, 6 is nothing compared to like freaking doing live.
Fuck that.
6 ain't shit compared to freaking.
But imagine I would have like, look at one thing about me, like. I want to speak for myself, you know, like
Yes, of
every
course.
time I disobeyed my gut feeling, up, you
I
know?
hear you.
I f- up. And that day, that situation happened, and like all that shit happened, like something in my stomach was like, man, fool, like these fools are not worth it. Like you're gonna holler at them later on, you know. But coming where I come from, the shit we're exposed to, and the shit that adds on to how we move as people, unfortunately, you know, like it didn't allow that, you know. So I went over there. No one knew I was going over there, you know. And no, like, don't get it twisted, you know, like I didn't go over there with no ill intention either, you know, like. But fast forward to all this shit, when they was throwing them deals at me and shit, it just didn't feel right. I'm like, I feel like I'm disobeying my gut feeling again, where I'm like, I can't do it, you know, like. Don't get me wrong, I have powers with my families and shit. They're like, fool, take that shit. And I'm like, it doesn't feel
like,
right.
no,
Like I'm not
yeah.
gonna do it. And look at like another year passes. I'm fighting that shit. I went and doubled up on lawyers. I'm like, fuck this shit. Like I just didn't feel right. And by the blessing of God, boom, it was like drop 3, take it right. I'm like, shoot that shit.
Oh,
Boom.
yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
like I'm big on numbers because, like I said, I have a lot of brothers and shit, you know, and all of us like play sports, so we all have a number. And my brother, rest in peace, Josue and shit, his favorite number was 3. He's always been my angel, you know, like because my other brother passed away when he was a baby. So Josue and Israel, they're no longer here at the time. They were no longer here at the time. So I never really knew my brother Israel because obviously I'm the youngest one. But my brother Josh, I have some memories with him and shit, you know, as a kid and shit. And throughout my life, you know, throughout my whole family's life, he's always presented himself. So I'm just like, fool, show me a sign, dick. Like what's up? And boom, drop 3 ticket right now. Like, look, I got the chills, fool. Look at
Oh, yeah.
like, and
It's your brother.
My brother was like, take this shit. 3 years, it's my number, fool. That's my sign. Boom. I was like,
Let's
run
go.
that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get this shit out the way already. I've been fighting that shit for just as long, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
and then being out there fighting the case is super mentally drainful as well.
I heard. That's what the homies was telling me. Like, fool, like when you get busted and you're fighting in here, yeah, like the environment is what more or less like
Ruined.
blurs your vision and shit. But like, fool, fighting that shit out there, that's just harder, dog. I'm like, damn, well, I mean, it's my first rodeo with this shit, so I'm learning as I go, you know?
Yeah.
Like, as far as being busted and shit, you
Of
know?
course.
Like, but nah, yeah, I got told that a lot, low
No,
key.
I told my
Yeah.
husband, like, God forbid, right? This is just like me saying, like, God forbid, if like something happens, like, don't bail me out, fool. Let me just take care of the kid, take care of the kid, and leave me in there.
Yeah.
But God forbid, I mean, I don't do anything wrong, right? Like, I'm super elite. Like, I don't mess around at all. But just in case, like, don't bail me out, bro. Like, just put me in my books, take care of the family, and I'll be all right. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't feel like I don't think I have the courage to like put myself like to turn myself in.
Hey, that's just
Tell me about you. Okay, so you get sentenced, you get the 3 years. Tell me how it was for you when you
and I
turned
was
yourself
fighting
in.
that shit in Torrance. Like, that shit was all bad right there. Like, it was playing with me. It was really playing with me right there. Like, but like, it kind of like, it sucked, obviously, you know? Like, ain't nobody trying to get busted and shit. Especially like where I was at with the music shit. I was like, fuck, I feel like I'm finally cracking the little code and shit, you know? Like,
Yeah.
y luego eso pasa, I'm like, fuck, but like, it kind of felt like, all right, I'm gonna get this shit over with finally, you know? Like, it's no more like, damn, like, what if? Don't get me wrong, other like, I'm not gonna say concerns came with it. Like, I said, I've never been upstate, you know? Like, so I'm like, okay, like, I'm finna go see what's popping up there, you know? But like, when I turned myself in, that shit sucked. You know, my family was right there and shit, but.
And you had your girl as well.
Oh yeah, my shorty's been trooping on me for a long ass time already. I have like 16 years with her and shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I said like I owe her so much, straight up. Like, but I guess we'll talk about that after, you know, like or later on and shit. What's up with the time? Like, are we on like a time?
No,
like,
we do whatever
we
you
cooling?
want. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, do you? I don't gotta leave till 12.
Okay.
I mean, we're not gonna talk that long.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, like it felt like it felt good. Like, all right, I'm gonna get this shit out the way now, you know? It sucked, but I gotta do it already. I was already just burnt out on like not knowing what was gonna happen, but man, I had to do it, you know?
You had to do what you had to do. So you turned yourself in.
And my lady's pregnant at the time too. I'm like, fuck, like I'm about to miss my son's birth. That's what I was trying to push for, like it's a trip because I was supposed to turn myself in December 9th, and the judge didn't pull up because she had caught the Rona and shit, and they were trying to get like a floater to proceed with my hearing, but they couldn't. So like you have to come back January 21st. I'm like, man, I think it was the 21st or 22nd. And
Of 2019.
no, 2024 when I turned myself in.
Oh,
2022, I mean.
Okay,
Yeah.
2022.
I was supposed to turn myself in late 2021, but that happened. And then it's a trip because in that little month span, so much shit happened. Like I started getting hit by like music wise, like people that I was like, what, like from that side of shit, you know, like there was like situations where I could have like sold up like certain things with like big names and shit, and I'm like, damn, if I would have turned myself in, I wouldn't have had
That.
them opportunities and shit, you know. So, but that shit was fucked up because my lady was pregnant, you know. I'm like, damn, I'm about to miss my son's birth and shit, but fuck it, you know, like, I gotta do it.
You gotta do it.
I gotta get it out the way.
And he's still small, so
Yeah,
he's
my
not
baby
gonna
boy.
he's not gonna remember it.
Hey, you know what's a trip? Hopefully he doesn't, but he remembers shit.
Really?
Yeah, he remembers shit, and I'm not even capping. You know, like that fool is like, yeah, that motherfucker's smart.
How
you know?
old is
like,
he?
He just turned 3.
Okay.
Yeah, like I trip out on him, you know, and I thank God for him too. Like he
Of
really
course.
kept me so solid, like,
Good.
cause like I was a clerk and visiting and shit too, so like I kind of had it sold up right there, like, and my lady, she never missed a visit, you know, like, cause if the circumstances were like, I had to like develop a bond with my.
You had to do what you had to
young,
do.
you know,
Of
straight
course.
up, yeah, like-
Just because you're in it doesn't mean you can't have a relationship with your son.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like, but
You turned yourself in, and what happens when you turn yourself in?
like as far as like what,
Like, where'd you go?
They straight in the county.
Okay, so you turn yourself in the county. You already see
No, I turned myself in Torrance.
in court.
Yeah, so they.
From there, you went to the county.
Yeah, like as soon as they take me back from the court shit, I look back at my family, get that one last look and shit, and hold on, I was right there processing my shit. He's looking at me, and he's looking at the screen, but because you know they try to press you to look at the wall and shit, and then I just hear my boom, 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 boom. I look back and I'm like, oh, so like, what the f-? Just starts bumping my music and shit.
The sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff and shit. I'm like, but nah, yeah, they had me up in Torrance for a little bit until I caught the bus to the county and shit, and I was in the county.
And then from the county, how long did it take for you to go upstate?
I went up. I landed in Deleno April 5th. So I was in the county January all the way to April. Yeah.
And you were in general pop. You weren't in.
Come on now.
I know. What I mean is like you weren't like high power.
Oh, nah, hell no. I had to have that me again. Like fool, power shit. Like, I mean, not like that, you know, but like, I'm trying to.
Be normal.
I ain't trying to be dolo. That's what I didn't want. Because like, fucking around with the homies, it burns time, you know, keeps your mind
and
busy
that was
shit.
those when you turned yourself in, you in the county and with everybody else, not high power. Was that your first time actually like with everybody?
Well, when you walk in the tank and shit.
Well, yeah.
Every
But I
fucking
mean, like
body
as
and
far as
shit.
like waking up and your daily from January to April is like a different experience because every other time you've been like kind of on your own, like by yourself.
Yeah.
So you got to like adjust a little bit to like the guys in the program. Because when you're by yourself, you're not programming like that. You're just doing your own shit.
Yeah, there's no program.
Yeah,
your
it's
head.
just you.
gotta-
Yeah.
Yeah, up here, yeah.
So when you turn yourself in, you started to like program, started to work out with the guys.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Those from January to April.
That shit was a trip. That shit was cool. Like, I mean, it had its moments, you know how that shit goes. Like, you know, like there's some righteous in there and there's some
Yeah.
way out in there,
Yeah.
you know, like, but I mean, that shit, you know, like, I never introduced myself or said, like, hey, what's up? They call me Devour. I like, never. Like, it was just who I am, you know, like, obviously on some other shit. And, like, that's what it was, you know. And, like, when people put it together, like, dick, like, the fuck?
That's
like,
this
I'm-
one.
Yeah, like, hey, the homie's right here. Like, I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, and you just, you know, like,
You're
you
like, hey, no digas nada, güey.
yeah. It's like jumping in the ocean, you know, like if you was a fish. As soon as you jump, like you just start swimming with everybody, you know, like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up? Like, what was popping over here? Oh, we got this over here. They put me up on game shit and just, you know, like,
Did you see
it's
anything
my
crazy?
home now, temporary, you know.
Did you
so
see anything crazy?
all types of shit.
Well, tell us the craziest thing you experienced in those 3 months. Or 4 months. No, January, February, April. Yeah.
Man, I'll speak about
I
some
miss
shit that
March.
happened to me, you know, like,
Well, only you. You're,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
what was the craziest thing you experienced?
man, some ain't on me, like, cause I had it sold up right there, you know, like for a little bit, and somebody next door was on some bullshit, you
Hater.
know, yeah, and they tried to give me foul, like, and it happened. It was a big ass powwow, and You know, like it went from 3 hard 39s to just one, and I ended up beating up the Boobah squad. You know, like, and shout out to homies and shit.
Yes.
You know, like, because they picked two of the homies I would kick it with and shit.
Oh.
But
it is what it is.
yeah, like that shit was some bullshit straight up. Like I thought it was gonna get ugly, you know. Yeah, like you ain't gonna do me like that, dog. You know, like hell no, dog.
Just
Like
hater.
Yeah, straight up. But I mean, I seen all types of shit though. You know, like I seen like some trippy moments too. Like so when they let me out of fish roll, and they sent me right down. They sent me to the 3800s. I was like in A10. No. It was I don't remember where, honestly, because I was only there for like in 10 hours. Fuck.
Those 10 hours, a lot of shit happened or what?
Nah, well, that didn't happen there. Like, because I ended up getting sent to South, and I was in South for a little while.
Okay.
Well, I was in Supermax, and then from Supermax, they sent me to South. And then, that's where that shit happened. But fuck, when I pull up, when they take me out of fish roll, because, like, I mean, I was in my cell already for a little while, so I had my shit, like, as best as I can. I had my little matches. I got doubled up and shit. As soon as I get down to support my cell, it's another homie and two paisas and shit. And fuck, the matches that was on top, it was like half a matches. I pull up, all my shit, I'm like, right here, a midget? And then these would just start busting up and shit. We ended up getting them matches or whatever. And, like, that shit, like, it was a trip, because as soon as I walked in there, I felt the energy change, like, in a better way. I'm like, all right, like, thinking about myself, you know, like, this shit.
Yeah,
like,
you need
see
people.
motherfuckers smoking everywhere. Like, I mean, it's bars and shit, you know, like, shout out Iron Man. We got the TVs and shit now, you know, like, but, like, it was like, okay, cool. Like,
So people just smoking that, like, normal, like, it's okay.
Yeah, there's fucking clouds everywhere and shit.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Like,
So you could smoke and not get in trouble?
in the county, they don't give a
Okay, I mean, I'm just asking.
I'm holding the wicks and shit. Like, when I first had a wick, and the hoorah does his walk, I heard the keys. I'm like, fuck, I go like that. And I was like, oh, about that. And I'm like, I just kept I kept going like that so the wick could stay on and shit. And
how did you turn it on?
One of the porters, I think he popped it. Yeah, like he went and popped it where I guess them fools sleep and shit, and he brought that shit back and he shot it to me, and I had it because I was the first cell. And yeah, I was like, oh yeah, they don't give a here, like straight up, like so. I mean, that shit felt way better, you know, than being isolated and by yourself and shit. You got no access to shit.
Yeah.
Like everything echoes and shit. Like as soon as you go to an environment like that, it's like it's loud. You know, like
días. How did they do
like,
it?
Everybody like, you know, like everybody like just in motion, like there's just a lot of shit going on where it keeps your mind busier, you know, straight up. But
did they ask you to rap?
Shit, I was just rapping my ass off if they didn't, you know, like
you're just doing you.
Yeah, like in themselves, I feel like it kind of helped me develop like new shit because there's like natural reverb in there, you know, like so I'm in there like hitting little notes and shit. I'm like, oh shit, you know, like don't get me wrong, I was at the bar sometimes getting off, like the homies will be like, hey fool, hit that one. I'm like, say no more, boom, and I do it, you know, like, but I was just like, hey, that shit sound hard. Let me write that down. And then I was like, okay, when I get home, I know what plugins and shit, you know. I'm like, okay, some shit that sound like this, like, but I mean, music is my love, you know, straight up. Like, I know I say that shit, but that shit really is, you know, like,
of course. Since
I was a baby and shit, like, I mean, if y'all ain't doing nothing, y'all could probably run into some of my people to highlight some stories and shit. Like, I got some shows coming up. Y'all should pull up and shit, you know?
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah. But we'll save that topic too after this shit.
Yeah, you'll talk to him about that.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
I'm so down.
Yeah,
I'm always I like to support everybody. I'm a supporter. You know, like if you come to my channel, you're supporting me. So it's like, what else can I do? Of course, we got to support each other. That all we have is each other. You know, and not even just like, oh, I'm gonna support you, but like, no, I genuinely mean that because I'm not with the bullshit either.
Yeah,
like if I don't f you, I don't f you.
Don't get me wrong, you know, like I'm the exact same way. Like, but when it came to like doing all these interviews and shit, like I did pick some and like I genuinely what you got going on, you know? Like it's dope, it's different. You're a female, you know, I say I respect, and you're a trooper, you know, like you really did that, you know, and like not everybody's dope. Like it's just like, damn, like that shit is like,
okay, well, you're just más cállate, güey, you know?
Up, like, so I mean, hell nah, you know, like hell yeah, I'm finna support something I genuinely feel is dope, you know.
Thank you.
What y'all got going on is tight, you know, like. But
yeah, count us in. We'll be there.
Yeah, straight up. Hell yeah, pull up.
We'll be there. So you're there till April. You go to Deleno. Did you learn how to bird bath there, or where did you learn how to bird bath?
Nah, in the county.
Ah, okay. You made a master. Who taught you?
Nah, well,
you just watched.
You ain't got no action in the dungeons. You got no action. Like they don't like Man, there's so much shit I could just speak about, you know. But
Well,
I know
tell us about your first time bird bathing. Did you make a mess?
I was old. Hell yeah, I made a mess, but I sweat that shit out. Superman that bitch out, you know. Like, it's just natural shit, you know. Like, when you come from broke ass situations and shit, like, that's why I say, like, it's regular. It's kind of hard for me sometimes to explain it because it's just so, like, normal, you know. Like, I come from project housing, you know. So, like, that felt like I was locked up, like, type shit, you know. Like, it just reminds me of the same walls and shit, you know. So
Got it.
It wasn't so like,
Life changing.
yeah, like far from the norm, I guess you could say, you know? So, I mean, I felt dirty. I had no fucking deodorant and shit. I fucking stink. I'm gonna get up and shower. Where's the water at? In the sink. I only had hot water at the time. So, thankfully, I would just put it in coffee mugs that I would get blessed with and let that shit simmer down and just boom, get busy. Like, fuck that, you know? Like, what am I gonna do? Be right there stinky as my blanket smell shit?
Oh,
like,
no.
hell,
Oh, smelly ass food.
fuck that. Hell no.
I just like to ask, you know.
Hell yeah, we chopping it up.
Yeah,
Hell
I think I like to ask that. Like, you make a mess, dick, you know?
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I for sure did. Probably if I had to sell it, he probably would have been like all the way to and shit. Like, I was just, hey, we getting busy and shit straight up. Hell yeah, shit.
That's funny. So you get to Deleno. It's your first time. You're in the bus. Tell me about your bus ride. What's going through? What's going through your head?
I was next to the homie and shit, my boy from my tribe and shit, and
from my tribe.
Yeah, like thankfully I was, cause after a while I started leaning on him. Like, it started getting uncomfortable. Like, I was tired, you know. They wake you up. Everybody's all excited, sharing all the food because you can't take shit upstate and shit, you know. I'm right there shaking, like, I'm about to take my little picture upstate, you know, on my ID, like. And that's another story. When I get there, like, in the reception shit, I guess I got in the unfortunate line of the bitch that was acting like a bitch. Like, I had my shit in a ponytail because my hair was growing and shit, so it was all fucked up. And you know,
and
like,
you have curly hair.
Yeah, I got curly ass hair. So, like, all the homies in that line, they're all G'd up and shit, and they didn't make them take the legals off. But this bitch was like, hey, you can't wear that shit. So I'm like, I look, fool. I'm trying to like look.
Hey, I want to look at my picture.
Yeah, so I just went like that to my hair, and like in my ID, like I look crazy. Like, I think I had that shit on me, low key. Where's my wallet at? Oh, I think it's in the bag. I'll show you right now. My hair is just like, it look like I got beat by the cops and shit. Like, my shit's just all everywhere and shit. But I mean, that shit, the bus ride was a mission, dude. Like, I felt burnt out. I felt tired. I was like, fuck, like man, let's just get there already. Like, this shit, like, let's just fucking get there already. And we're already all burnt out too, because it was in the middle of the corona shit. So we was already just trying to get out the county. Like, send us up already. This shit is just bullshit right here.
Did you get the corona?
I low-key did. That's what prolonged me from going upstate, because from south, me mandaron para atrás a Supermax, and when I first touched down before I went to south, I was in 629, and then I landed in 627 on the way back, and that's when they were like, hey, that shit was turned up right there, because it was the transfer dorm, you know? So, like, that shit was like, we were literally on the street. Everybody was smoking. Like, we had that shit hot right there. Like, they took us out. They fucking stripped all of us, made us do that gay ass shit, you know? Like,
oh, you're sitting but to bump it up, guys.
Well, all deep, squad car, everybody like, oh, you guys want to, they were telling us, like, you guys want to act up and make it, like, be on blast? Well, here you guys go and shit. Like, so, like, whatever. But when I was waiting to go back, tested positive. So they sent me back to the Twin Towers. I was stuck right there for 2 weeks.
Well, did you feel sick?
I low-key, I kind of did. Like, but I had caught that shit when I was on bail. And that shit fucked me up a little bit. Here my back. Like, it made my back feel a little weird.
Yeah.
Bacchiotomy type shit. Like, but, and my fever was a trip. Like, I would be like on like a 102, 103, and then like in an hour, I'll be kicking it. And then like in a couple more hours, that shit'll flare up again. I'm like, yeah, this shit is weird. Yeah, but yeah, so I ended up catching that shit. I was over here trying to like not swab and like trying to finesse it so I could go up, but they wasn't having it, and I got stuck right there. And then from Twin Towers, they sent me back to the 3800s. That's when I was on the 3800s, and we was just waiting. We had a phone in there. That shit was cool. We was kicking it, and yeah, went upstate. And then the reception was in quarantine for another 2 weeks. I was like on a month and a half quarantine.
Wow, because you went from here to there quarantine.
Yeah. Before they send you, they have to quarantine you. And then when I got to the other place, right before we're going up, I tested positive. So they sent me to the towers, where it's another 2 weeks. That's a month already.
Wow.
Yeah, then when I go up, they off rip, since you're coming from somewhere else, they have to quarantine you. So I'm like, whoa, this shit is bullshit. You don't have no store, none of that shit.
That's
like,
intense.
Yeah, that shit is bullshit. Like, but Like I said, you gotta just keep trooping, you know?
Well, yeah,
and
it's
figure
not
it
like
out.
we could stop. Like we just gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
So you get there, you're quarantined. Did you have a celly when you got there?
Yeah.
Tell me about your first celly.
When I got upstate, well, to Deleno,
The reception.
it was the homie Jabs. I hope, shout out to homie Jabs. Hope you solid, fool. We was just right there kicking it. I didn't really around, so like everybody goes like, "Hey D, what's up with you?" And my celly was like, "D, get this shit for me." Like, boom, like I bless the homie and shit. I mean, I don't do that shit, but if it's coming, fuck, I bless the homie and shit, whoever I can, But
Yeah.
we was just right there kicking it and shit, like just trying to figure that shit out. And then when they popped us out of there, we got sent to different places. Hey, when I landed in the first place, because they sent me to C4. I was C4 B side. Because when we were in quarantine, I was on AR, and it's like the homies knew already. Like they was waiting for me in the front. I always like to be at the back of the line when my last name starts with a like far back letter. So yeah, like I'm like, I don't want no one behind me and shit. Let me get behind you, dick. Like shit, like. So when I'm waiting, they're splitting us A and B side, and I just see everybody in the front. Like, okay, we got new heads, so everybody's on their shit. And then I hear the homie from the SGV and shit be like, "Hey, is that Devour?" And I'm like, Shh. And I just
Because everybody already knew, obviously, yeah.
And then boom, everybody just comes to the front. I was like, damn, like that shit was cool, like even in the
Love.
county when straight up. So all the homies that's still busting and shit, like that's keeping it solid and shit. Like let me rewind a little bit. There was a little situation in the county. Well, not situation, but like I was in 44, and like I think they start like at 50 something. You go to the chow hall, you have to go past all of them. So 44, you pass 43, 42, and so on and so forth. My first time when I walked out, it was like not like that, but like it felt like I was walking the carpet. Like everybody busted out the doors. They were like, "What's up, boy?" And I'm like, "Damn, that's right."
Good.
Yeah, like I was like, "Man, that's crazy," And we in the chow hall, we just kicking this shit. But back to the reception shit, it was the same shit, like the homies came through and they're like, "What's up?" Like boom, I introduced myself. They're like, "Hey, what's up, fool? Like, where's your rack at?" And then for sure I get a G ride, like, and yeah, you just figure that shit out. Yeah, that shit was.
How long were you? Where did you go? You did your whole time in Deleno?
Hell no. They sent me from there. They sent me to California City.
Okay.
So yeah, we closed.
How long were you in Deleno?
I was in Deleno from, I think I TD'd in July. So April, May, June, July, 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say was the craziest thing you experienced there?
Woo. I don't know.
Damn, in 3 months, how much?
Hey. Well, I mean, like not like that, but like I don't trust no one,
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I was that guy, like that I just prepare myself for everything, like when I get to a place, I'm like, hey, like all that.
How do I take care of myself?
Yeah, nah. I mean, I'm get busy and shit. Like in Fish Roll, I made a little thing out of my inhaler and shit, like so. There was a situation where I had, I guess you could say, a handful of things on me, like, and they came in and I was like, fuck. So like when everybody was pulling out, I just boom on A side. I just started pushing all the homies on the bottom side, and thankfully one of my older homies was in the bathroom cutting hair. Well, he was cutting hair, but like everybody's already like, cause someone had to get up out of there from another race, and if they were gonna do it, we were gonna do it. Like, it started too much of a problem, and they ended up taking care of it. So when they came in, I started laying down, and then like when I felt like I had some wiggle room, when they started pushing in, I just turned around, boom, and I went this way, and I just slipped. Like I had 3 things on me, so I was like, "Hey, dick, like flush them, fool." Like, and sure enough, everything was solid. They didn't end up searching everybody like that, just certain people and shit, but. I think that time I was like, boy, I almost got blurred.
Yeah, because that's pretty intense, especially because we're not used to. Yes, we come from the lifestyle, yes, but we're still not used to like. Let me just drop and go, be in those crazy situations, especially because it's like you're just barely getting to prison, and this is what we have to look forward to. It's like not look forward to, like I'm looking forward to these moments, but I have to re-say that because these people might be like, look at her,
just promoting some violence, like nah.
And definitely that's not what we're doing, but this is what it is, So that is a crazy experience to where you're like, oh shit, I gotta get fucking rid of this because or else it's on me, even though we know it's on us. But still.
Hell nah. Well, yeah, it's on us, but like the time that come with that, I'm like I came in here for
Yeah, I'm going home tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just walking through, you know, like,
Yeah.
but I mean, fuck, like, that shit was a trip. I honestly thought it was about to be all bad right there, low key.
Yeah.
I mean, all the fights and all that shit, like, that's regular, you know, like, I fucked up my hand. I can't close my hand no more.
Oh, is that where you messed your hand up?
Yeah, where I was at, you know, did some shit. But yeah, like, I mean, aside from that, like, people getting their asses handed to them on the yard. That shit on the yard, that shit was turned up. Hey, on the yard, as a matter of fact, my first time going to the yard, because my hair was just in afro. Like, I would just leave it in the afro and shit. And I'm walking the yard, and you know how, like, when you're pushing on the yard, if you stop, they get on your bumper and shit. Well, my first time hitting the yard, I had, on everything I love, I had everybody, like, around me, and I did, like, 2 songs. I did that Bound Me shit, and then I did an unreleased one. And it was cool because the Huras didn't stop it. Like, they came back too, and they just let.
They wanted to listen.
Yeah, they let it go. I was like, man, that shit was cool. One of the homies was too like, hey, fool, next time we're gonna start charging soap bars. I'm like, who made you the manager? Fool, straight up. Like,
right away.
Yeah.
Hey, right away. Always somebody try to come.
Cool.
It's what
it's
it
the
is.
hustler's mentality.
Yes,
know,
of course. But that's pretty. It's funny. Like,
Yeah.
here you go, fool. I'm gonna be the fucking manager. That's funny. That's pretty cute.
We just clowning and shit. Yeah. But
So you're only there for like 3 months, and then you go to, you said, California City.
yeah.
And how was that experience? Is that where you did your rest of your time?
Yeah, that's where I did the rest. Excuse me. That's where I did the rest of my time and shit. We closed California City.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the last 100% GP prison. Yeah, straight up, you know, like, and I mean, but that shit was rocking.
That's at the end. We'll get to the end, that part, right?
Yeah.
So you get there, and what happens?
That shit was rocking. Low key, that shit was
Rocking and rolling.
Yeah, that shit. I was like, okay, like, we here now, you know, like, let me figure it out.
Let me figure it out.
Yeah, straight up. Let me get situated. Like, I landed, I had the fucking worst celly. Like,
Oh, well, tell me about your worst selling.
Nah, that fool
Hey,
was
if you're
feeling
watching
it.
food, you were the worst selling.
hey, nah, cause he was programmed different, you know, so.
He was already down for a while.
Yeah, he was down for a while. He was cool though. Like, when I would have conversations with him and shit, but it's just, we were 2 different people where it was, everybody was like, fuck, all the stuff they put you with the homie and shit. Like, I ended up getting out of there. Like, nothing happened. Like, but
He was like serious, or like, what was it about
he
him?
was just like,
Was he older?
nah, he was probably like, maybe like 38, maybe 35, probably.
Stuck in his ways, kind of already.
Nah, it's just like, I was up at 5 a.m. with the bright ass light on, like, fucking working out, like, cause he had like something happened. Like, I guess his situation, he had got lit up by the Huras and shit, and then like he just had to be on the shit to stay solid, you know, cause
Got it.
he's stuck. That's the it up for him, but he's a certain way, you know, like, he can't sit down on the toilet, like, so it was just things, you know, where it's like,
yeah,
like
like not normal.
yeah, like, we're just on 2 different pages, you know, like, but he was cool though, like, he was just in his own world and shit, you know, like,
He's doing his program so that he survives his path.
Yeah, and like, being locked up too, you know, like, it really teaches you how to understand people. Like, maybe if that was a not giving a f***, but like, man, fool, what's wrong with you, dog? Like, you know, like, but you're in there, you know, so you need to, like, me, like, it sucks because it's a waste of time, but since that time is gonna be wasted, let me make the best out of it, you know, as that sounds.
No,
shit,
it's
you know?
not
Like,
fucked up. It's what it is. You know.
yeah, like, so I'm just people game and shit. Like, I'm one of the ones that does listen, you know, like, I like to hear what OG say, you know, like, what people that have done shit before me saying. That's how I feel like I take game and learn, you know, like, make a better version of myself and shit, you know.
Good.
Nah, yes, and I just got up out of there and, you know, fill my little juice card up, you know, started doing my shit and, you know, got it popping. Yeah, it's just straight up.
Hey, did you get fan mail?
Yeah.
Tell me about your fan mail. Tell me about your fan mail. Like, did you just get a lot? Like, what? Tell me.
I used to get a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Pictures and everything?
Low key. Yeah. Hey, I got a lot of pictures, low key. Yeah. It's crazy, you know, because people really dedicate time in sending you a letter, you know,
That means a lot.
I felt some of them letters, you know, I'm like, fuck, that's crazy, you know, like, people just, even when I was busted, like, homies from down the way sending me, like, one times, like, we're chopping it up and shit, especially when I was, like, isolated, like, and I'm just, like, hearing people's stories and shit, I'm like, fuck, that shit's a trip, you know, like, but nah, yeah, I was getting a hella mail, like, that shit was, I had my shit booming, hell yeah, straight up, that shit was,
You were just on.
yeah, I mean, a lot of it too, like, I cherish everything, but like, the pictures, especially of my son, is what, like, honestly, it was like my Netflix. Like in that big ass bin that I paroled with, it was the majority of that shit was gifts. Like 2 of the guitars, the homies let me have them, you know, like. So everybody, oh, this fool took all this shit, Stin Jazz. Like, nah, hell nah. Like, I had that shit, you know, like.
Well, I'm glad
up.
that you're talking about it,
like,
you know?
I was on, I had 3 hot pots, so when they would hit the shop, like, hey, fool, you don't have one? Hold my shit, fool, you know, like I had like 3 fans, you know, like I just, you know, just in case someone popped up that didn't have none, you know, like boom, here you go, because I was getting shit my way off rip, you know, like when homies would go home, like, hey, Dick, you want this shit? Like, hey, yeah, shoot it, fool. Like, I was just holding for somebody that pulls up and shit, you know, like, but I had a lot of pictures, like. I kind of thank the CEOs for not pressing me for the amount of pictures I had, you know, like a corner of my shit was just all pictures. I would tell my lady, send me everything, you know, like I don't want to miss nothing, you know.
God bless
like,
her.
Yeah, straight up. Shout out my shorty and shit,
Yes.
you know.
I'll meet you soon.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But nah, yeah, you know, like that shit's a trip. Like that shit really like.
It does make time go by faster when you have somebody that's there for you, you know?
It was, hey, I do want to apologize though to like whoever may be watching this shit that I didn't get a chance to hit back, you know, like, cause on top of the shit I had going on in there, like it was just really hard to dedicate myself into writing so much letters, you know, so I was just trying to get as much out as I can.
Oh, so you did write back to
some people.
Oh, that's
like,
super nice.
Like some may have been shorter than the others, but I try to get some off, you know, like at least send like if it was just 2 or 3 lines with like my signature and just be like, boom, you know, keep your head up, like, or whatever it is, you know, just try to get back, you know, like, but it did kind of get hard keeping up with that shit.
Well, I'm sure you got a lot of fan mail.
That's why we kind of, I had them take it down because it was just too much, low key. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
at least
dope.
it definitely helps. Even your brain, like, you know, keeps you, like you said, just keeps you.
Hey, whoever got I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're
but
good.
Whoever may have a letter of me, and if I'm in your city, pull up, you know, like bring whoever you're going to bring, everybody going to get in for free, straight up.
Love that.
Like, yeah, like,
yes.
You know, we're going to go on a little tour, so if you see, you know, your city right there, pop out, you know, like, I'm going to get your whole
the letter gets you in for free.
Yeah, straight up. You know, I know my writing, you know, so straight up.
Yeah,
straight up.
Love that. That's, you know, God bless you. You know, you're going to keep growing and keep doing your thing. Those, you know, 3 years was just a little nothing in your life, you know, to make you probably so that you could really tune in with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, the situations happen, you know, that's nothing, it's, you know, but at the end of the day, things happen and we don't know why. And you were able to be with you by yourself to get to know you.
Yeah.
Or grow more within yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I feel like that, it's like another one of them situations where you could call it like a test, you know? Like, it's life is testing me again, so am I going to dial in and learn, or am I going to ball up and fold, you know? Like, can't do that. I can't do that. I have way too much people that are, even if I
cheering
try
for
to
you.
do that, they won't let me curl. Like, chipping fool, like, you better man up. Like, you
That's
know, like,
right.
I can't do that, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck all that. Like,
And you have a lot of people cheering for you.
Yeah,
You know,
like-
you can't, not even like let them down, but you can't let yourself down.
on me.
You know?
Yeah. On me,
'Cause
because
if-
I let myself down, I'm letting everyone down,
That's
you know?
right.
Straight
That's
up.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. So you're there, you're doing your thing, you're getting fan mail, you know, you have your family, your girl there. She's taking the baby.
Yeah.
How was your first visit with your son?
Damn, dude, that shit was crazy. Hold on.
It's okay. Hey, that's the beauty of being adults, that we are able to be who we are, and you know, we either hold it back in or let it out, but either way, like, it's reality and it's what other people go through. You know, I went through that when I left my son for 5 years, and when I left him he was 4, and when I came back he was 11, and I didn't get to see him for like 3.5 years, almost 4 years, you know, because it was too far for my mom. And
Yeah.
so I know how that feels of, you know, like you see your son for the first time and you've never even seen your baby, like,
Yeah.
you know, and he's so small and so precious, and, you know, she's bringing him to this dirty place, but it's all because she wants her baby to bond with her dad,
On me.
with his dad, I'm sorry, you know?
And like, it's crazy because, you know, like, leading up to like me having to go away and shit, like, I started reading shit, you know, like my lady had like an app that I took a strong liking to, and it shows you day by day how big the seed is getting, you know? And aside from like the checkups that we would go to and shit, like they would say the only thing that they remember is the boys. So the whole time I found out we had something in there, because I didn't know if it was a boy or girl, because I've been doing it from the jump, you know, like I would just talk to him like what's up? And then when I found out it was a boy, I was like, my baby boy, I'm like, what's up? I would say the same line. So when I got locked up, I said the same line because we kind of had the name already. So like I would just say his name and I'd be like, where's my baby boy? I would say his name, like his name's Jack Angelo. I'd be like, Jack Angelo, where's my baby boy?
That's cute.
From the tummy to the phone. And sure enough, that fool remembered that shit, you know? Like,
Aww.
so when he was born.
She would put the phone to his little ear.
Yeah, she recorded it. Like I said it and he smiled and shit. It was like the day old type shit. And I'm over here talking to him.
Aww.
And yeah, I was like, damn, that shit's really real, you know? Like,
yeah.
Hell yeah, like, and it was a trip too because it was the COVID shit. So one of the CDCR's restrictions was anyone younger. Well, you had to have a shot to get a visit, and I said, "Fuck no, I don't take shots." Like I'm straight. I'm a like, you know, as much as I don't wave that Mexican flag, you know, like as far as like, oh, I'm Mexicano, like, you know, I'm really outside with it, like I really am, you know, like, and I just go back to the drawing board, you know, like back then our peoples when they was really in the forest, you know, like on straight Indian shit, they didn't need no fucking external shit to have a baby and all this wild shit, you know. So I like to apply that with my family, you know, like my little family that I'm developing now.
That's
you know?
right.
And, you know, I told my lady, you know, like we ain't getting no shots, none of that shit. Like fuck all that shit. When he's born too, Charlie, like don't let them, like, it's fucked up because I wasn't there, but they try to put that on you, you know, like, oh well, if he doesn't get a shot, I'm like, nah, we ain't getting none of that. But I didn't have a shot, and they weren't letting nobody under the age of 2 visit a prisoner. So I didn't get to meet him when they lifted that shit until he was like 6 months old. Yeah, but I was like, don't send me no pictures of him. Just send me pictures of his hands and shit. Like, when I first got him in reception, you should have, like...
Oh, he was like chubby, I bet you're like, that's like perfect stage.
I'm like, fuck, like, that shit's a trip, you know, like, but...
Yeah, we don't have shots either.
Oh, what?
The COVID shot.
Oh,
yeah, no, we don't.
Look, I bet y'all people that got it, they probably feel stupid as like.
No, seriously, because
like,
that shit does not do anything.
Hell no, that's probably gonna give you complications later on. You probably got like a tracker or something in you now, you know, like, I don't know, like, I don't fuck with shit like that.
I agree. So you saw your baby, he was 6 months. Best
and a
day.
6 months and a day.
Best day.
Hell yeah.
But I bet once he started coming in, was it easier for them to keep coming back? Or
After that, every weekend.
Boom, nice. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he knows that. He knows that. Yeah, he knows that.
I'm running around with him everywhere. Like, and then, so, you know, I was a clerk right there. Like, I like would pop out the basketball court that they wouldn't let the kids, you know, so like, it was cool, you know, like I got to grow with him. Like, I'm right there sitting on the floor playing with all the toys and shit with him, you know, like, I had to let him know that even though I'm not there, Pop, I'm right here, you know, like, and as soon as I get home, I'm never gonna leave you again, fool, you know, like, that's it, like, it's the hardest part. And it's crazy because too, like, there was some complications with my lady and shit where when she honestly, like, it became a thing where, like, when I was in the county and I had it sold up right there and shit, like, the homies were like, hey, where's D at? Like, whatever. But I jumped on the phone and I was talking to my lady and shit, and like, if she asked me, she was like, hey, you know, like, something's going on, and like, if it's a situation where I have to pick me and the baby, who do I pick? And I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm in the county, and then my boy from my tribe, he's with me, and I'm like, hey, fool, like, after I got off the phone, I went to our little driveway, because there are 3, but we always use the top and south as like a mesa. I normally sleeps on the top, so it's 2, and I sold up our little driveway and shit. I had like my boys right there, and I just was like, fool, don't let no one come right here, fool. And I just was looking outside. I just let all that shit out. I'm like, God, like, what am I supposed to pick? I even asked him, I was like, hey, Dick, what would you pick, fool? Like, because he already had kids. Fuck, fool, I don't know, nigga. Like, I'm like, God, like, how was somebody supposed to, like, try to, like, pick some shit like that, you know? I'm like, and I'm not there either. So I'm like, man, you know, like, I'm already going through some shit, like, but I just had to not allow my lady to feel that way either. Like, I had to, like, get it together real quick. I'm like, you're good, nothing's gonna happen, you know, like. But as soon as I got off that phone, fool, I was like, destroyed. Like, don't let no one get near me, fool. Like, let me just let this shit out, fool, you know, like. That shit was hard. That was one of the hardest moments being busted, you know, like it felt like time was going slow. I'm like, thankfully I was doing what I was doing at the time where I was able to get on the phone whenever I wanted, you know, and I mean, I didn't hog it or none of that shit like the homies know, you know, but that was one of them times where I was like, hey, fool, let me get on the phone real quick, you know, like, and boom, like that shit was hard, yo, like that shit.
I can't even imagine that, you know.
That shit was crazy.
Well, thank God, gracias a Dios,
yeah,
everything came out good. Yes, love that. So you're in California City still.
Mm-hmm.
You're there for how long did you know? Like what you said you were. Wait, let's just ask. What was the craziest thing you saw there?
Well, we're gonna be here all day. Like,
no, it doesn't have to be like some stabbing. Like it's something that like like popped into your head. It's like damn, that shit was crazy.
Like in any avenue or like in a violent avenue.
Whatever,
like,
in any avenue, whatever might be crazy to you that you're like, oh shit.
I wanna like when some shit happened to me again. I just like to highlight because you know
it's about you.
Yeah.
That's right.
The homies and shit, like, you know, like other people, like I let them tell their story, you know, like when they get the opportunity to do so, you know, like so. But me, you know, like some shit happened where I was going at it with a CO and a gooner.
Oh dang.
Yeah, and they got at me foul, you know, like one of the COs and shit, like faggot, and that fool pretty much wanted me to jack off in front of him.
You're kidding me.
Hey, palabra on everything. Like
that's intense.
My celly bounced up too. Shout out my celly suspect. And I didn't like I said, it's my first turn. Like, so, like, I just was like, I left it alone, you know? Like, and we were reclining about it and shit. And like,
but that's not cool.
The homie that had the, cause I mean, I was like, you know, like, I was like, weird ass. Like, he was trying to humiliate you. Yeah, like, in front of everybody and shit, you know? And I was like, you got me f***ed up, fool. Like, I was like, shit, ain't gonna do that, dog. Like, if you come up with my cell, you know what's gonna happen type shit, you know? Like, we ain't gonna do none of that shit. Like, what the f*** type shit? Like, yeah, but yeah, long story short, like, when I seen the unity happen because of that, it felt beautiful, you know? And I was like, damn, there's really unity that could happen, you know? Like, and I didn't even try to go and do that, you know? Like, it's just the homie that had the pad found out. We were talking about it. He's like, hey, and then the homie that had the block put up, you know? And everybody, you know, was like, hey, what's up, fool? Like, and I was like, on some real shit, yeah, that shit happened. And they're like, shit, so it's the one time, hey, and you can call talk to the CO, like, it's a rap, you know? Like, and when they found out about it, because they know everything, the hood and shit, like, they just started running down on me even more shit. Like, that shit was crazy.
That is crazy.
That's why I say we could be here all day, you know?
No,
like,
but that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like, because weird ass shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's like super weird shit.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
Uncomfortable.
It's crazy because, like, one of the COs he was with, he ended up working later on when I was the clerk and visiting. And I give it to that fool because when that weirdo said that shit, this fool looked at him and he looked away. And that fool just kind of like, he had to be there for his partner, but he was like, what the fuck?
Weird ass fool.
Yeah. But then other races caught wind of it, and that's why it became a big ass thing.
Because that fool's probably doing that shit to everybody else.
But I'm the first one that kind of like, I guess.
It's you.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck? Like, so it became that fool, that's it. Like, but when I seen the unity behind that, without even like going and like trying to like ask for it, I was like, man, that's badass, you know?
That's
so
right.
shout out the homies that made that happen and shit, you know?
Yes.
Like, but
that's pretty crazy.
yeah, it's just some yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Tell me about your favorite foods that you used to eat in there.
I used to whip. When I learned how to whip, I used to whip it.
Come down, fucking chef.
Oh, me, straight up. Well, I mean, it's kind of easy, you know? Like, everything's already pre-made and shit. So, like, I used to with the carnitas a lot. Like, I didn't really like the sopas and shit unless, like, we ran through the store and shit. Like, but I mean, my favorite shit was tostadas. I used to make tostadas with the rice. I used to make guacamole with chips, add some milk to it, like, you know, like, just, you know, just figure it out.
I'm all hungry.
Straight up. Yeah, straight
and you
up.
used to drink in there too?
Yeah, I used to get my little party on with the drinking and shit, but, I mean, not too much, like, but when it was like, hell yeah, we gonna turn up, then hell yeah. Like, when I left, I had both pods turned up, like, it was pretty dope when I left, you know, like, the doors stood open on the both pods. The hood like
nice.
And we were just walking back and forth and shit. Everybody turning up. Like, I mean, and I was the, what's that shit called? Well, damn near I ended up being the clerk on A yard because I went to every yard. I started off on B yard and then they sent me to C yard where that shit got bullshit with the huras and shit, and then I paroled from AR.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, like that lightning shit, that shit smacks, low key. That shit'll fuck you up.
What is like a good memory that you remember that you're just like, damn, this was really nice?
Man, like just making a difference, you know, like being able to like help without trying to help, you know, in a sense, like not like violence isn't the answer every time, you know.
That's right.
And like, cause like me, I sat at the mutual tables and Deleno and shit, cause I got black homies too, you know. Like one of the ones I was, you know, one of the ones right there, it was my homie from the street and shit. So we was sitting in the middle and shit, and he was in play. And like some shit happened because of that scenario I was telling you, you know, like where I feel gotta get, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, like just like I don't know, you know, being able to like see a better outcome instead of just a norm, you know, like man, we this shit's it's regular for some shit like that to happen, but when it's fixed in a better looking way, you know, it's dope, you know, like I don't know, it's just a lot of shit, you know, like seeing like I mean on the flip side, you know, what felt cool too is seeing who's really gonna jump for you, you know, like when it's time to get busy, you know who's a mark and you know who's really gonna troop, you know, like so like I don't know, you know, there's it sounds crazy, but there is beauty behind that wall, you know. Just gotta acknowledge it, you know.
Yeah.
And don't be blinded by the evil that's in there, you know. Like
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of shit, you know. A lot of shit was a trip, you know. Like from like even like landing that clerk job, like a handful of homies were like, "Dick, I've been right here for a long ass time trying to get it." You know,
they're
I'm like,
they were mad at
Hey.
this fool because he's a rapper ass fool.
hell no. Like, some of them will be like, fool, you. But I'm like, hey, we gotta get out your limo, boy.
That's
straight
right.
up.
That's
Hey, like,
right. That's right.
But, nah, yeah.
That's
no,
cool.
That's just a trip, yeah.
Best advice you received from somebody in there?
I always remain true to myself. Like, I had, like, older OGs, you know, like, not in that, you know, like, I call people OGs because I feel like they deserve that respect, you know, like, especially they've been doing it way longer than me, you know, you've been down for 20, some 30 years, like, you OG though, you know, like
Yeah.
mine, you know, I don't know what you got on your jacket. Like obviously you right here, you trooping, you solid. Like, but I mean, whatever you got going on in your home, you know, like that's you. But right here, I'm here with you now, and I feel like, you know, that's righteous. You know, it makes them feel good about themselves too. You know, like
Yeah.
if they really lost their life pressing this line, you know, like what was the end goal? The end goal was becoming a gangster, dog. You know, I'm a gangster, my boy. You know, like so if you really abided by this and troop this gangster shit your whole life, being called OG, I feel like that, you know, like
Thank you.
It uplifts them, you know. And I remember one conversation with one of the older homies from overseas and shit, and he was like, "It's a trip." He's like, "Fool, like when I landed on BR, he was like, damn, it's crazy, dog. Like I would have never put two and two together that you like you're really out there like that with some music shit, you know, because of how you are, you know, like." When everybody, like, I don't know, you know, I feel, that's why I say back to my brothers and shit, I feel like they tell me right, you know, like, when I see someone, like, hey, what's up, boom, shit, you know, like, when people come in, I help them, you know, like, I was a porter too, you know, I had my little juicy shit, you know, so, like, he was like, dog, just, it's dope, you know, like, don't.
That you're still yourself.
You're yourself, you know, like, I would have never called that you were a rapper until I seen all the homies, you know, just, you know, like, talking, you know, they tell, like, what's up, you know, like, that's the homie D right there, you know, like, and that shit, I'll never forget that shit, you know, like that's advice that's always gonna stay with me, you know, because staying true to yourself is fucking hard, you know, especially now when
This
like
world.
being real. I know there's always gonna be a bigger and better wolf, always, you know, but I know one thing I'm a real, you know, like, and I could never let no one blur my vision and make me believe otherwise, you know. So when I got OGs telling me, keep going, you know, like that shit feels righteous, you know, like. But
it feeds the soul.
Yeah, straight up.
You know, it
like,
feeds the soul.
It just confirms that you're doing something right, you know, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, like I've been told a handful of things that I'm never gonna forget, you know, like straight up. I'm not gonna lie, I even wrote shit down. I'm like, damn, what word did you use? Right there, shit down. Yeah. You know, like, and they're like, I'm not gonna lie, in the county too, somebody tried to take my dictionary and it was about to be a mess in there.
Yeah.
But it popped up out of nowhere and shit, but that's all I read in there, a dictionary. I'm taking a masa right there, I'm just circling words. Like, you know, like, I like to learn and shit, you know, like, and ain't like learning from my OG. Come on now, you know,
Doesn't
like
get any
you
better
can't
than
pay
that.
for that. You
That's
gotta
right.
go there to learn that, dog. You know, straight
And
up.
that's probably why you had to go in there.
Yeah,
You never
straight
know,
up.
you know?
Yeah,
The situation happened, but that's neither here nor there.
yeah.
You did your time, and it is what it is. So when did you find out that you were going to come home?
When I got my GED, and shit last minute too. That's why they try to put me on the line of CRC. This how much they was playing with me. In one of my visits, they came and disrupted the visit, knowing that that's such a valuable thing to us, you know, and try to give me my whole, hey, well, where do you want to go? Like, so they're wasting my visiting to ask me, like, you know, like your endorsements. It's crazy how that shit sounds. How like out here, it's like I'm endorsed in SE, and they like, nigga, I'm endorsed to Folsom. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, what are you
It's just
doing?
crazy. Yeah, like I tripped out on that shit, but I was gonna go to SATF or Soledad, and I was supposed to go to SATF, but since all that shit kicked off with the Uras, they scratched me and they put me as an add-on to CRC, knowing that my hand was fucked up. I think like, oh, get this food like,
No. Yeah.
because I mean we can't stay there and shit. Like, and I'm gonna do my Dougie, you know, like, but that shit was a trip. Like, I was like, man, these fools could really do whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
That
like
shit, bro. That's why the parole
They
shit
could
got.
have easily waited till you were done with your visit.
But like, I had got the GED right on time because the shit closed, and if I didn't get it, I was gonna get sent out. But me quitaron los 6 meses.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I came home.
So when they told you, hey, you're going home, how was that feeling?
Well, I mean, I knew already when I passed my GED.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah.
already knew. You just didn't know the date.
Yeah, I was anxious because we kept getting put on lockdown. I'm like, so it's fucking up the program. I'm like, damn. Well, I got my GED today, so I try to calculate the 60, but then we got put on a lockdown for like 3 weeks, and it just prolonged everything. Where I had to go back to the counselor and lock that shit in, you know, so she could start calculating the timer or whatever. But yeah, like when I passed the GED, I was like, oh, I'm out of here. Like,
Good.
shit, you know, like
Good
I already,
for you.
yeah, I didn't get granted the whole 6 months because I was already running through my time. So I think I only got like 4 off or a little like 4 type shit. But I mean, yeah, that shit still
Who
came
cares?
through.
Yeah, you
straight up.
still went home,
Yeah.
right? So you got picked up. Who picked you up?
My shorty picked me up.
Your shorty picked you up.
Yeah, my son.
Oh, okay. So the whole, just your girl and your son.
Yeah, well, the homie Norberto, he came through from Almonien. He shot it, you know, shout out my homie and shit. My nephew was right there. He pulled up, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the homie's family, you know, he took his wife and his kids and shit, and yeah, because they were trying to press the line that I couldn't have too much people, whatever. But
Cool.
yeah.
And then you probably would have had all kinds of people there.
I kind of wanted to make that moment special though, because I kind of wanted it just to be my lady, like
Just the three of
no
you
one went
guys.
to go visit, like not like that, but like, and it was a lot my choice. Like I sent a visiting form to a handful of people, but it was like, you know, like only my lady and my
Your
nephew
son,
came. So I was
yeah.
like, you know what, this moment is righteous for them people. You know? Like, let me
Yeah,
enjoy
the
this
people that were
moment
there
with
for
them,
you.
Nah, everyone
not
was there.
that they
Don't get me
weren't.
wrong. Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Bro, you still didn't come see me. I don't give a- if you sent me money, you didn't see me.
Hey, it's crazy how that visiting really like just allows you to feel like you're out, huh? Like
Yeah.
for that day.
A little bit of time, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're walking out, and you're walking out with your cart.
Have you ever seen that before? Someone pro with a big ass
No,
cart like that?
that's why. Who took that picture, anyways?
The homie was there.
Oh,
He was filming everything. and
Oh,
shit,
okay. So
yeah.
you're the one that posted it.
Yeah, I posted.
Okay,
when
that's
I
why
was-
everybody
yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
What? I know the people are dying to know, and you said it a little while ago.
Yeah.
But what did you have in that cart?
I still have everything the exact same way. Like it's, like I said, I was getting a lot of pictures. So like one big bin, you know, it like the pictures, that shit was full of pictures. So that was one bin. And then like the things that I did keep, like, cause I knew I was like, man, when I get home, I'll be able to like, I mean, what I had visioned for myself, I was like, it'll be cool for when I start doing shows and like a run again to set up a cell and just put my shit in there, you know? But like I said, I had so I shot everybody like the best shit. I kept that still work and look good for the camera. And then everything else was just gifts, you know? Like I had a big ass box of books that the homies would bless me with, because I'm telling you, I was always reading this shit. Like I was always walking around with I was seeing with like a clear bag that your order your packages, you know, like the lo mandan in some clear bags and shit.
like the
and I would put all my
Ziplocs.
notebooks in there. Yeah, Ziploc big one. I had like the yellow notebooks in there and a book, like a rhyme, like either a rhyming dictionary, a regular dictionary, or a book I was reading at the time and shit. And yeah, like it was that. It was 2 guitars. I got away with some clothes and shit, you know, like. But yeah, like like nothing really like that I kept that was mine in there, you know, like everything else was pretty much gifted to me and shit. On the way out, like the homie blessed with the guitar, like we saw you right here, like.
And you can't be carrying that anyway, so you have to have a
like,
car.
well, yeah, my hand's fucked up.
The
I had a
comments
broken
were
hand.
intense.
Weirdos. hey, the fellas know what's up with me, you know, like in there I
Yes,
was.
and that's what matters.
If I had it, the homies had it, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, like my shit was a trap. Like I felt like my shit for a while was a penthouse. Like everybody pull up, smoking right there, we all kicking in and shit, you know, like. My shit was in the cut and my door was broken. The Hoodas knew who I was. They used to call me our local celebrity. That's what, yeah. And I was like, that shit was cool, you know? Like,
Yes.
but for the most part, it was just a bunch of like, it's like my paperwork, it wasn't too much. It was, I kept a lot of things that I got gifted, like letters and like one times that certain people would send me and shit, like the pictures, like.
Yeah, your personal, your actual personal. You just had a lot of personal shit.
Yeah, it's just like, and I couldn't carry it. Like, I mean, on top of it, even if my hand was solid, I wouldn't have been able to carry all that shit.
Yeah.
And the Hoodas are not.
Oh, and you said you had 2 guitars.
Yeah. Like,
So.
And they weren't gonna let me take trips because you know the doors on that bullshit.
Yeah.
So I was like, and then like they looked at each other, like, take the card. I'm like, say that thing, boom. And I just,
Bam.
yeah, straight up. It's fucked up because that's what took long to let me out. I was like, that they're going through all my shit. And I'm
Why?
like, psh.
I would think that they wouldn't go through it because it's like, bro, you're taking it out. Like, what is it? Can you really have? Like,
Just I don't know. Like if I had something that was contraband, to give me more time. Like,
I guess that does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good for you.
yeah.
So your girl picked you up, the baby. What did you eat? What was the first thing?
Some in and out. I was trying to eat some homemade shit, but I was starving.
And it was fire.
It is, but like not for a moment like that. I was
Yeah.
trying to eat my Head cooking or some shit, you know, like. But I had got, like I said, had the both pots going up. You know, everybody was turning up me shit on something like hasta luego, like. And I was like a little, like not hungover, but I was kind of like, but I don't really get hungover. I wake up drunk still, like.
You're tired.
Yeah, so like I had woke up and I'm like starving, so we stopped at In-N-Out. And we grabbed In-N-Out and I just went home. I was waiting for my mom to surprise my mom. She didn't know. And yeah, so when she got home, I just ran up on her like boom. And yeah, she was like, I hugged her and shit, you know, like I had to sit down on the couch, like, cause it was a little moment, you know, and my mom was older and shit, you know, so I didn't want her to just pass out on me and shit. And yeah, you know, I'm home now, you know.
Good
yeah.
for you. And how long have you been out?
I think it's going like a little over a year and like 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I just got off of parole like 2 months ago.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. How was it for you to adjust back to reality, or was it like you just left? Didn't
Damn,
leave?
time flies. I'm Kevin. I got off parole by like, damn, it's like 5 months already. It's crazy.
How long were you on parole for?
A year.
Oh, so okay.
And they were trying to give me some shit too, but like, I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes talking about these people make it tricky because I'm like, would this shit make them come me and shit? Like, you feel
Don't
me?
say.
Like,
If you feel that, listen to your heart. Don't say whatever you want to say.
it's a trip though. Like, bro, shit was a bitch. You know, like.
What was the hardest part? You can't. Is that what we can't say? Your face.
Fuck, I don't
They were
know.
just making it super hard for you.
Yeah.
Well,
Saw my PO out. Thought there was like foul play going on. Like,
got it.
bullshit, you know? Like, but thankfully she got my shit chopped. They were trying to give me 2 years. You know, I think it's like what, 2 to 5, or I don't know what. But she got it cut in half. I had a meeting with her higher up, and they're like, yeah, boom, you're not a problem. And right after that is when that shit got weird. I'm like, right, perfect timing, you know?
Yeah.
That's why, like, I was like, you know what? I got a year left. Let me just. I was so anxious to come home and just start playing ball, you know? Like, I just beat this shit. Now I could chop it up about it, you know? Like, I wanted to hit the ground running, but I couldn't.
It wasn't meant
like,
for you to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody, you know, like for some people it's easy, like, oh, they just get back to it. For other people, it's a little harder, you know, because the brain works different for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
What is something that you still do
Like what?
that you used to do in there? That you picked up in there?
Drink coffee.
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit.
I think
I don't
everybody-
even drink coffee like that. Like, low-key, my lady, she started making café de olla and shit.
Oh, the fire.
And with with it. Like, I like it, you know? And I
Fire.
don't, like, coffee be getting me boofed out. Like, I'll drink like this much of like a regular coffee and shit. Already all lit. Like,
Fuck it, give me another shot.
fuck no. I feel
drink
like,
2 coffees a day.
yeah?
In the morning, back to back.
Damn. And you're vicious.
And that's something that I picked up while I started going to jail.
Oh, excuse me.
You know?
Yeah.
But I started going in when I was 13. So
I guess let me ask you, like, what's something that you learned in there that still that stuck with you, like some advice or like a scenario where you're like, psh, that shit, like I cherish that moment, you know, like it taught me something.
Well, for me, something that I always say and I do is like you got to program out here like you're still programming in there.
On me, yeah.
So that you could keep yourself going.
Yeah.
Because or else you'll just get stuck.
Yeah.
Like, and what keeps us, it keeps us safe. It keeps us in the straight path.
Yeah.
Is staying like focused, like you gotta be living like you're in there still, kind of. Not like that, but like that, if that makes sense.
You know, well, because I mean, with you guys, it's the same program, right? Like you guys start in the morning,
Yeah,
like
same
8:30,
shit, yeah.
Like, you know, what's the trip is that it taught me that you really only have a certain amount of time in a day, you know, like in there, you know how you're always looking forward to, okay, the doors are gonna pop at 8:30, and then from 8:30 to 11, like we in the day room, 11:45, shut down, top tier. So like something's always happening throughout the day where it makes the day go by fast. So like
Your routine.
yeah, like out here, I just try to keep the same shit because like there's so much shit happening now, especially now that I finally press play on this shit with this music shit again. Like I just have to abide by that because if not, I'm gonna crash. You know, like
Exactly.
it ain't gonna be like.
And you got to put it on your terms. Like,
Yeah.
like I only do things. Like remember when we spoke the first time, and I said, "Hey, I only film from this time to this time,
Yeah.
because that's what works for me."
Yeah.
You know, and
I was on the ass too. I was like, hey, I can't pull up on a weekend.
I mean, for you, I probably would have.
Hey.
I feel like I had to set my boundaries.
Yeah.
And I set boundaries now.
Yeah, you have to.
Before
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
got
set
to.
boundaries, but I was a mess before, so that's neither here nor there, right? But like, you have to set boundaries. You have to know how to say no. You have to know how to say like, you know what? I don't like the way this makes me feel. Like, just stick to the program, bro.
Yeah,
Just
straight
stick
up.
to the program.
Straight
We
up.
programming out here, and I always tell everybody like, you're off parole already, so you good.
Yeah.
But like I tell my boys like, just when you get out, just work. So you're so tired, all you want to do is come home and just chill and not want to be in the streets.
Yeah.
By the time you know it, you're off parole.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, straight up. I mean, I tell the homies too, it's like how committed you are to doing what you're doing, being turned up and, you know, like apply that same momentum to that scenario. And it'll be easy for you, fool, straight
Yeah,
up. You know,
yeah.
like you're such a, my homies is with it, you know, like where like you can also be with it in that scenario, you know, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
It may feel different, but you could get it done, fool, you know, like unless you want to get busted again, dick.
Yeah, like,
just
don't be a dick, bro.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
like, I'm over here just preaching to you now, you know, but
Yeah, wasting breath.
yeah. Nah, I mean, some homies.
One word, you'll catch a word.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you. So you just had another baby.
Yeah.
And tell me how that process was, because you weren't there for the first boy.
That shit was, you know, what's crazy? It makes me feel more f***ed up to my
Oh,
first
no.
kid. But I mean, not like that. Like, that shit was beautiful, you know? Like, I seen life happen, you know? Like, that shit was crazy. I'm like, I'm just more or less right there. Like, I'm looking at shit. Like, I'm like, I'm looking at everything. Like, Dad, sit down. No, you sit down. Like, I'm right here looking at shit. Like, but at the same time, telling my lady, you're good, you know? Like, and.
That's
that shit
scary,
was-
huh?
Hell no. That's just tight.
Fool, shit up. That shit's scary.
Oh,
having a
for you,
baby.
yeah. For you guys, I can only imagine, you know? But like,
But what about her? Like, was she shaky? Like, so it's scary.
yeah, for sure, you know, like she's worried. I mean, you know, like,
That shit is-
but all I could do is, yeah, straight up. Especially the bounce back, you know, like, but I mean, I could just be right there and support her, you know, like,
You're good. Don't worry.
yeah, but when it's crooked, that shit gonna bug me. Low
Oh,
key, I ain't gonna lie. No lie. Hey,
I don't even look at it.
Nah, yeah, that shit was dope. That shit was crazy.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Well, at least you were able to go through that experience.
Yeah, and it's crazy because when my lady, when we had the baby, we did that, and then I smashed out. I met, you know, when they put her in where she was gonna be at, I took off and shot a video, and our dulce niggas was outside burning, and then I was on rodeo that day. I came back, I slept, you know, helped her with the baby and stuff. I knocked out at the hospital. Woke up in the morning and went and shot another video. And
Dad's gotta work.
Straight up, we gotta go. You
Dad's
know? Yeah.
gotta work.
Yeah, but it was a dope ass experience though, you know, like It's just a chair. That's my property right there, my kid, you know? Like, that's crazy. Like,
Oh,
yeah, but that shit was cool, though.
well, good for you. God bless you and your family.
Hey, likewise, thank you. I appreciate
you.
that. For
So
real.
what are you going to do to continue to keep yourself out?
Shit, stay busy with this music shit, you know? Like, I everything aside from this music shit, you know? Like, I really feel like I could do something with this music shit. I really feel like I got something that no one does, you know? I just gotta apply that shit.
That's
I'm not
right.
really want to go and be like I don't really do that, you know, but hey, you know, like I gotta get
do.
it. Yeah, I gotta go get it. I gotta make this shit happen, you know, like I'm outside now, I got blessed, you know, thank God, and it's time to play ball, you know?
Yeah. And you're young still.
Yeah.
You have your whole life ahead of you.
Hell yeah, shit. These next shit, yeah, like
That's right. So before we go, is there anything that you want to tell like a younger Devour?
a younger Devour, man, there's so much I would tell myself. But what I would tell a younger person, I would just be like, if you're gonna do it right, you know? Like, even my little homies and shit, like, I'd be like, fool, you really wanna do that? I don't wanna say what, you know, like, but hey, if you wanna do it, just do it right, fool, you know, like, you know what come with it, you know what it is, and if you don't need to do that, don't do that, you know, like, but if you're gonna do it right. Yeah, straight up.
I agree. I agree. I always say that. Well, would you like to say anything else before we go?
I'm outside, baby. It's time to play ball, straight up. Hey.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
gifts.
yeah, hold up.
I got you.
Yeah, we can't show that polo logo. They ain't dropped the bag yet. This is what I had in that cart too.
Oh yes, tell me, show
It's
me.
a little present for you, OG.
Thank you. I've never seen one of these. I was in the Fed, so we don't get these.
Oh, no?
No.
What'd you guys get?
I mean, we just like a paper.
Really?
Yeah.
That's up.
But we're able to go to the store once a week though.
Yeah, but that's nothing though. I got you this.
Oh yes, a radio.
Feel me?
Fire.
Yeah, it's like
Love that.
Does it work?
yeah.
We're gonna plug it in. We're gonna find out.
I didn't have them solder it either, so it could bump louder. It's like solid, you know, like it's a Sanjin for you that don't know. You feel me? Like, and you can only get this in one place. And we're on Indicted TV, so this shit was indicted with me type shit. So I brought that shit home for you, you know.
Much.
Yes,
This
sir.
is gonna be here. I'm gonna leave it here.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be This is gonna stay on this table.
Hey, that's just crazy.
This is literally gonna stay on this table, and I'll fix it after. But thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
So you guys are wondering what he had in that cart? This is a radio.
Shit like this, you feel me?
Things like
Straight up,
these.
for moments like this, you know, like straight
We'll
up.
fix this after.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's gonna bother me too.
Straight up.
Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I appreciate it to the max, and we're here. We're here for whatever.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Hell
Yes.
yeah. Nah, hell
Don't
yeah.
forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.
Hey, I got an album on the way.
Yes.
Devour, baby. I got a tour on the way. Like I said, it's time to play ball. You feel me? So, vibe up. Let's get it.